Hurt in a car? Call our sponsor, William Matar. 844-444-4444. With a focus on motor vehicle accidents, the team at William Matar has handled thousands of cases like yours. Let them help you get the money you deserve after a motor vehicle accident. Rideshare, truck, motorcycle, car, only call William Matar. 844-444-4444. Welcome back to another episode of the Sabre Report podcast. My name is Jonah.
I'm JP.
And this is now the show. This is the home of your 2026 Atlantic Division champions.
That's damn right.
They won the division.
We will have a banner raising
There's
next
a
year, no
banner
matter what.
coming to Buffalo. Oh
No
my
matter
God!
what.
They actually did it. What a team! What a season! What a year! Finished comfortably ahead of Tampa and Montreal too. I know that obviously didn't matter the last few games, but I think they both dropped their last two, or I think they both finished with 106, and the Sabres were at 109.
Yeah, with tiebreaker over both of them. Pretty comfortably at the top. 4 points out of top of the conference. And we had the tiebreaker, and then if we would have just beaten Dallas in regulation, we would have been third place in the league.
We're a post away. Away from home ice advantage and a possible Stanley Cup Finals matchup. Can you imagine if that happens?
I
we look
haven't
back,
even
we're
thought
like,
about that.
We're like, man, what if Pearson hits? If he, that goes posting in.
We'll be kicking ourselves.
That'd be so funny. The Buffalo Sabres have won the Atlantic Division for the 2025-2026 season, and as our video viewers can see, I was able to pick up some merch. Couldn't go the Sabre store routes. Had to use some back channels and third-party services, but it's actually, honestly, I would still consider it better than probably any Fanatics product. So, yeah, had to rep it out. But man, just unbelievable team. I don't even know. It's just it almost feels wrong to just constantly these days hit record. And every time I got this nice smile on my face. And it's not artificial. It feels almost wrong in a way to be this happy. Like this wasn't supposed to happen.
It's weird. I mean, hell, we were just talking about a few months ago. I mean, we were complaining about everything. I mean, someone wanted to blow up the team. Some others were criticizing Lindy. Some other ones hated our number one goaltender. Like all three of us, we are liable for some criticism. But the thing is it was all valid back then. The criticism was all valid. They just completely turned the season around.
Yeah, we were never wrong. Not once. Not about one single thing.
No, we were not wrong.
We're never wrong.
They completely turned it around. They played they're one of the best teams in hockey since December. If not maybe the best, to be honest. I don't know what the actual record comparison is, but I gotta imagine we're at least top 2 or top 3. But what a season.
It's just so funny to look
50
back.
wins.
50 wins. A Colton Ellis save in the shootout away from a 110-point season.
We would have been undefeated in the shootout this year, too. Would have been the only team. Actually, no, the Ducks are undefeated. They're still playing.
What's the score of the Utah game? Their last game's tonight. I know you've been holding on to that stat. They have not played in a shootout yet this year.
It's tied 3-3.
Oh, no.
I actually saw someone else tweet it out.
I told you to get it out there.
No, they quote tweeted their own tweet. It was them tweeting about it in March, but it's still possible.
It is still possible. I just want to let the record show that when the Buffalo Sabres came out of the Olympic break, they were 8 points behind the Tampa Bay Lightning with 2 more games played.
With what, 24, 25 games left?
The Sabres had 24 games left. Tampa had 26.
Yeah, I mean, that just sounds like Coach of the Year stuff out of John Cooper. I mean, are you kidding me? Blown a division lead in the last 20 games of the season? He should definitely get Coach of the Year votes.
It's so funny because John Cooper's obviously a fantastic coach. But I heard a little bit about the national broadcast last night because JP and I were at the game, and so was Christian.
And Christian, yep.
So we didn't listen to the broadcast, but I heard that they were having their discussions about who their Coach of the Year picks were, and I heard like Lindy was sort of an afterthought in all of it. It was kind of like don't forget about him. And they brought up like Rick Tocchet and Dan Muse, obviously, but then even somebody, I think Anson Carter, like brought up Cooper, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, I will think it's an absolute travesty that Lindy, if he loses this, which I don't think he's going to, I really don't. I think he has this all but locked up.
He better not.
But like, I can hear like Rick Tocchet, the Philadelphia Flyers, like a month ago, had like they were some Flyers fans were showing like the money puck odds that they usually tweet out, and they were like a sliver, like in the 1% spots. And that's a team that requires just incredible coaching to do what they did. And Dan Muse, obviously, you know, that team has also been a tremendous story. I know everybody's going to say, oh, they have Sidney Crosby and Malkin and Carlson and Letang, and like that's all true. And I actually do agree with that. Like, I think they should get, you know, GM of the Year honors for what Dubas did. There was a similar unexpected, you know, level to that team. But like John Cooper, I know he had a lot of man games lost, but like if he were to somehow pick this award up, I could not think of a bigger just mishandling of an allocation of votes than that. I don't even think he should be a finalist anymore, really. You know, and it's a stacked class. Like, for a large portion of the year, you know, because we've talked about this at like many different stages of the Sabres turnaround. Like, should Lindy win Coach of the Year? And I was always like, I'm very sympathetic to Cooper's case. But that was always with the expectation they were still going to win the division. They didn't. They blew an 8-point lead. And, you know, they lost 3 of 4 to the Sabres. And 2 of those games were big division implication games. And I know the last Tampa game here, yeah, they had a decent amount of injuries, but the first one they didn't, you know. And they had the Sabres on 2 second half of back-to-backs. Don't forget about that.
Yep.
Even the one at home, wasn't that a back-to-back
barely
too?
beat us.
I think the 8-7 game the Sabres had played the previous 24 hours.
Yeah, we had 3 back-to-backs against them, where we were at the disadvantage for, I think, 1 or 2 of those.
I just don't see the case for him
John,
anymore.
He should not, yeah. They blew it. It's as simple as that. They're still a great team, and if these friggin' voters, if their reasoning is, oh, he's never had one before and he's such a good coach, like, that's just, it's such a bullshit sympathetic argument. Like, Sean McDermott never got Coach of the Year. He never got sympathy votes. Like, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It matters what happened now. He blew a division lead, and the Sabres won it pretty handily. They won it by 2 games at least. It would be ridiculous. Like, I don't know how Lindy is not. I mean, I guess I think he is the favorite, but like, I will be so upset if he does not get it. Genuinely, this might have been his greatest coaching year, definitely his greatest turnaround ever, and just the fact that we were last in the conference in December and we finished second in the conference a few months later. Like, come on. It's just an incredible year, and Lindy has to get credit for that.
I mean, I saw one stat before we hit record. This one's from Kevin on Twitter. Logan Stanley finished the regular season with a 54% expected goal share and a 60% goal share. Like, add that to the resume. And, like, there's so many cases of this. Like, with Cooper, I said, like, a big part of, like, why I understood it at previous points of the season was look at what he's done with Darren Radish. That guy is leading. He's now the all-time leader for a single season Tampa Bay defenseman. The amount of points that one had. And JJ Moser has become like one of the best two-way defensemen in hockey. Like, there's been stories like that like, hey, that's a reflection of a great coach. But Lindy, I mean, Josh Doan coming into the season was not what he is now. I don't think remember there were some people throwing some hot takes like, hey, he might outscore Peterka, and like that would always get shot down. Like, you're ridiculous. Like, he's not going to score 50 to 60 points, and that's exactly what he did. You can look at, just the amount of turnarounds. Matthias Samuelson, I got to rip this thing off.
Yeah, Samuelson and Byram fans, including us, I'm not going to exclude us, wanted both of them off the team. They both put up over 40 points. Samuelson, 41 points. I would have never predicted that for his entire career. I'd never predict him to get over 30 points in his career. He had 41. And I saw someone say, I completely get the storyline element of it, but what did Lindy actually turn around with the team for him to have, like, the validation?
Like, people were actually asking, like, from a systems perspective, like, what did Lindy coach into this team?
Yeah, and it's like, just watch the shift of them in the offensive zone, and you tell me what he did. They were one of the most fun teams to watch in the zone. The defensemen are below the goal line, like, so much. It's awesome. It's so fun to watch, and you don't see that out of many other teams in the league, especially with, once again, Matthias Samuelson has become an offensive threat. Like, it's ridiculous. Early in the season, he was on pace for like 20 goals.
If you're a Sabres fan and you've been watching them closely the past few years, you know that there are types of teams that they just could not handle because they would play, this has been their most involved season from defensemen for sure. But you've still had Dahlin for years now. You've had Owen Power for a few years. And obviously once they got Bowen Byram, like, he was one of the defensemen that would get very active in the zone. But the Sabres would have this high-octane, a lot of rush. A lot of their teams would thrive off of rush play. But, the way that a lot of people would describe it is the Sabres just never had a B game. Never had a change-up, never had a curveball that they could throw at teams. And that changed this year. There was not a team the Sabres could not handle or, play alongside in a game. Just like, they're mucking out 1-0 wins versus Vegas in their building. They're shutting down. I still remember that game. They went into Montreal, and in a very important division-implicated game where the teams are separated by like 1 point in the standings, the Sabres held a 3-2 lead for the entirety of a third period. Montreal had like 2 scoring chances. That river hockey quote, everybody laughs at it because we know what river hockey looks like. We know what this team looks like when it's playing river hockey. And that just has not been the case for this team at points at so many times this year. Yeah, they can play river hockey. They can play a unstructured style, but they can also play the flip side of that. And that is like a big part for me of like how I could explain what Lindy Ruff has done to the team's structure and their flow.
Years in the past, if you decided to play the trap against us, like you just automatically, you probably a 75% chance of winning that game. We were just so goddamn bad in transition against the trap. It was embarrassing. It was basically like watching our power play for 60 minutes straight. And this year, you rarely saw that.
The amount of times I had to watch John Tortorella take Don Granado's lunch money, or the Islanders games
Yeah.
we always groaned at, or the New York Rangers games, or like the LA Kings would always get them into a slogfest that they just could barely scrape by. And like that was just never an issue for this team. You know, they've won so many tight games because they were able to play that style. And a lot of that was roster construction. Josh Doan has been a revelation. Benson's taken a huge step. One guy we haven't mentioned yet, Peyton Krebs finished the season with 39 points.
He finished the season on the top line. I mean, I was going to say Krebs, Jack Quinn has arguably been like our best forward the last, I don't know, quarter of this season. I mean, even Owen Power, his point production, he's fourth on the team in points for defensemen. But obviously he's had a lot of defensive gaps in the past. I think he was a lot better defensively this year, to the point where I don't think there was as much criticism. Like, so many players took a step in some sort of way. I just think there's so much. And Noah Ostlund was one of Lindy's guys that he stuck by, and was one of the reasons Kevin Adams was fired. And he had a great season. He had 27 points, and Lindy is probably more trust in that guy than anybody on the team. Like, this just has Lindy's hands all over it. And I don't know. It's just such a turnaround, such a fun team. And I just wanted to see us. We got the division champ. I want to see us get an award. Like, I feel like we deserve it. I feel like Lindy deserves it of anyone, especially we have no idea what's going to happen next year. But if this is his last year coaching, he doesn't have a contract right now. Like, this was one of his best ever seasons. Like, reward him. He deserves it for this one.
Fully agree.
And,
didn't expect to get into the Adams conversation.
Well, you brought it up earlier too. Logan Stanley has been competent, and I don't think anybody on this podcast thought that was possible. And that's Lindy Ruff. But I wasn't expecting to talk about the coach of the year for 15 minutes, but here we are.
But it's I think it's
a good summary of the season, though. Like,
I think there's now two things you want in this season. Like, at least in my opinion. Like, I want a series win, and I want Lindy Ruff to get a Jack Adams. That's really all that matters to me from this point forth. Anything after that's like kind of bonus. I would really love to see I would love to see Dahlin win the Norris. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it'd be awesome if this late season momentum he's got him, if he somehow becomes a finalist. That would be great. But I think that's just the last thing I need. Reminding people what a great story he's been, and it gives me the opportunity to go dunk on New Jersey Devils fans for like a week. That would be fun. I really want to do that. Long time coming.
that would be fun.
All right. Before we go any further, do just want to take this time to promote our Patreon, patreon.com/The Sabre Report. TSR patrons get access to many benefits, perks, and additional content, which includes ad-free episodes of The Sabre Report podcast, bonus The Sabre Report podcast overtime episodes, shout-outs at the end of each episode, live streams. We just did one the other night with our patrons, had a ton of fun talking about the playoff race. That was at that point the Devils were playing the Bruins, and we found out in real time that the Bruins would be the Sabres playoff opponent. And we got to talk, about a lot of other stuff. We even did an immaculate grid at the end. That was a ton of fun. And then finally, a whole bonus podcast, TSR After Hours, where we let loose, have some fun, and talk about other stuff. JP and I will be recording one after this, where we're basically just going to preview the whole Stanley Cup playoffs. I mean, by the time we're finished recording this, I would assume everything is lined up. Maybe we'll get some game times. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. We're probably just going to... It's going to be like the Royal Rumble. Like, you're just never going to know who's next for each game slot. You're just going to turn on the television and be like, oh, I guess they're going.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. The NHL just continues to be a failure across the four major sports on just handling any sort of marketing opportunities. I mean, this is a joke.
But once again, that's patreon.com/the Sabre Report. We hope to see you there. See, I've been kind to them, I think. I understand why the scheduling is going the way it is.
Yeah, I get it. I get there's logistics of it. I get there's shared stadium space, especially with the NBA playoffs going on. But God damn it, there's 8 games you have to schedule across 3 days. Like, come on. This is ridiculous. You should at least know the days, or I don't know. It's just a joke. Like, this doesn't happen in any other sport. It's absolutely ridiculous. You don't see the NBA
usually
moving shit around for the NHL. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, they don't move around, but they still have to, like, a lot of this I think the only conflict is Boston and like LA, like that's going to be a conflict. I think it's mostly
Colorado
concerts
and Denver.
Oh, that's a good point. But I think it's mostly concerts, and I think the NHL wants teams. We knew there was the talk they wanted a hockey night, and they wanted a Canada team for the hockey night in Canada slot. That obviously didn't work out. They got Sidney Crosby instead. I feel like I understand why. Like the one argument you brought up was like this. Like the NFL has set times for each kind of round. But the NHL, I think, is being smart, and like they're like, all right, well, it's Saturday night. Let's put our best matchups, in specific spots. Like, yeah, let's do Battle of Pennsylvania at the end of the night.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's Thursday night. Games are being played in 2 days, and I guess we know the Saturday games, but so in 3 days, the Sabres will play, and we still don't know the time. It's
definitely 7 o'clock though, right?
It's got to be. There shouldn't be all this damn speculation. It was supposed to be Saturday
they're waiting,
at 5 o'clock.
Blame the West, okay? Like, these guys somehow...
I'm not going to blame the West.
I had no
the NHL.
No, it's the Western Conference, all right? It's the Pacific Division. Somehow Anaheim could fall to a wild card spot, or they could pass Edmonton for second seed tonight. It's a joke. I can't believe Vegas won that division.
Once again, you could blame it on the NHL for their damn point system and their damn
point system does not change
seeding.
The quality of those teams.
Well, that's true. But when the Kings have 20 overtime losses, the point system actually would affect it.
I got to stop shilling for the NHL. You're probably right.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas is. It's just the Western.
We'll talk about it
Conference
after hours. All right, we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. Back to the Sabres. Back to the Atlantic Division champions. That was a cool moment. That I guess it didn't like click until they were doing it, but I was like, oh yeah, when they took the ice last night, you were announcing them for the first time as like, oh, you're 2026 Atlantic Division champions. It kind of brought me back to like people were posting clips of Game 1 against Boston from 2010, and before the game, like RJ had them all on the ice, and he was doing like the announcements, and he was saying like, ladies and gentlemen, you're 2010 Northeast Division champions, and it's the first time you've been able to announce the team like that, so that was a really cool moment, even though it was kind of funny. Jay Moran's going like, welcome to the ice, you're 2026 Atlantic Division champions, and you've got like Tyson Kozak, Beck Malenstein, and Zach Benson taking the first shift. It's like, yep, these are the 23 men that did, or these are these are the 20 men that did it.
I was just gonna say, here comes your starting goalie, Colin Ellis. Your top line of the night was Jordan Grunoy, Tyson Kozak, and Alex Tuck. Yeah, it was funny. I think Tage was on the broadcast. I think I saw that.
He was up there for the Benson goal I saw.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a cool moment. It would have been awesome if they won the game, but at least you could use that against Alex Tuck in his contract negotiations.
Zero clutch gene.
Not score. Yeah, zero clutch gene. But yeah, it was cool. You saw how busy it was before the game. I mean, people were lining up.
Crazy.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I'm almost like, we always go to park kind of near like Templeton Landing, which I'm sure a lot of people will go to as well. But like, I'm almost wondering, like, would that like? I feel like we're gonna be stuck in traffic for so long. I feel like it's where the bulk of people are gonna be parking.
I
Head
think
to
no
Canal
matter where you're
side.
gonna go, there's gonna be like 25,000 people down there, maybe more. Like I don't know how many will actually go down on Canal side. 5 to 10,000 maybe, with another 19,000 in the game. Like there's gonna be it's gonna be traffic galore, and thank God they get to play on a Sunday night at 7 o'clock. So everybody's gonna be getting home at 11, and then we're gonna be recording a 2-hour podcast about it. Christian's gonna be thrilled.
Hey, he's gonna be happy. He's gonna be able to watch the game.
That is true.
He did not know if he was gonna be able to do that, or at least he was gonna be here for. Is he going to the tailgate? I forget.
Well, it's supposed to be shitty out too. That's the other thing. I think it's supposed
but
to
like,
rain
it's
and be like
Buffalo
40.
though. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want to
know.
hear that for us, right?
I don't know. Like it's one thing for the Bills tailgate if it's snowing, where you're not like wet, but if it's raining and you're wet and soaked, like I don't know.
That's fair. Well, I'm curious because I heard or I saw that you're not allowed to bring any umbrellas. Can't bring anything in there. Can't bring chairs in there. It's like I'm like, are they prepared for the conditions? I mean, I would assume so, but I never saw like a Sabres party in the plaza when it was like downpouring, or at least like wet. Like if you're gonna be standing on the grass too, like it's gonna be muddy.
You know, it might be perfect if you get the Goo Goo Dolls there. One of the best performances of all time was when they were singing in the rain. So maybe
That is
they could do that
that is
again.
a good point. That is a really great point. Canal side in the rain. Sabres pick up a big 7-0 winning game one.
It'd be insane. It looks like they got a cool setup though. They got food trucks. They got. I don't know if the screens are big enough. I
Two
know that's
tiny
kind of the
monitors.
complaint.
No, I saw people saying that there was like a 24 by 12
Yeah,
one.
I think there's like 3 different screens. I want to say.
I think they were testing 2. I don't know. I would assume the technology is so advanced. I think that would be very funny if like you showed up there and it was like the house dinner episode from The Office where it's like, oh yeah, I got the nice plasma TV. It's like it's beautiful. It's so nice, and it's just like this rinky-dink thing that people had to like squint their eyes. They took the LCD boards from like the old jumbotron, with, like the horrible like the 720p
With the broken panels.
You can't even see the puck while it's moving. This should be fun. I haven't decided if I'm going to go to like the game 2-1 yet.
I haven't decided either. I mean, we'll see. Well, if we play Sunday, it'll probably be
Tuesday night. I think it's supposed to get like into the 50s, but I don't think it sucks. I am a little mad. I have like the first party in the plaza or the first canal side, like that would have been so nice in 75-degree weather. It feels like we just sort of deserve that. But looking ahead, Tuesday, high of 58. So then it kind of looks like it's jumping back up into the 60s as we head towards the next week. So if they're back for Game 5. So it's cool. Some people will be wearing shorts.
Oh, yeah. Christian had shorts on yesterday.
He did. And he got his beer saber.
Yeah, that he did.
Gonna have to wait for the review, though.
Yep, and he ate something else. He tried something.
He did. He has another review coming. I
We
don't know
have
if he's gonna
Christian's
stack one
Cafeteria
episode.
on the docket.
I don't know. Oh, and he must have been in heaven reading their playoff food options.
I actually did not read them, but I saw something
my
about
God.
wagon tendies.
Pull it up right now.
Oh, jeez. Is this going to be in the stadium or is this at Canal Side?
I believe it's inside. Because I think they got a bunch of food trucks for the canal side stuff. You're going to...
Okay.
Wait till you read the second one on there. You're going to be shocked.
Let's go Buffalo Wings and Pizza Logs. Okay. Return of the Dominator.
Yep.
It's back.
The Dominator is
boy.
back.
4
Somebody's gonna
burger
die at
patties.
Somebody's
brisket,
dying at a Sabres playoff
bacon.
game.
Oh, my God.
If
Buffalo
Christian was
Sabres
inside, we
are
could have done the
wagon.
challenge. We could have done the challenge.
That is true. Buffalo Sabres are a wagon. I will definitely get that. The tendies
We will be
and
having
French
some
fries.
wagon tendies.
I will definitely get that. I made sure I didn't have tendies last game, so I wouldn't be I wouldn't have them twice in 1 week. So I will be getting them on Sunday. Sabre Steakhouse Stack pretzel bites with the souvenir helmet. That'd be cool. A poutine dog, hot dog of the game. Stinger pizza. That sounds good. The Tomer Bomber. House-made meatballs, melted mozzarella, garlic bread. Oh, boy. Served in a custom Sabres wagon box. 2-foot nachos, sponge candy, fried dough, Timmy shake, Perry Vanilla's milkshake, cinnamon sugar pretzel bites. Oh, that sounds good. Dubai chocolate pretzel bread. Oh my god, they got a bunch. General Chow's
like
chicken sandwich.
You know what
oh
this
my
was
god.
like? You know how
Pulled pork egg roll, chicken wing, loaded tots, juicy Lucy burger, and the poutine dog. Damn. It's a good array.
were we talking last night about how like somebody was saying like Seth Appert was saving plays for the power play for the playoffs?
Yes. So
But I want to clarify. That's not happening. This is like that. They were saving food choices for the playoffs. This is
damn
like
right.
they're pulling deep in the bag to bring out good stuff.
That's right.
They had
Maybe
this
they're
locked and
saving
loaded for
beer
a while.
savers. I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah.
The amount of
we-
people that asked us last night, though.
Yes. So JP and I, to clarify, if you didn't listen last episode, Christian was not able to secure a beer saber himself this year. So when they resold them, JP went and got him another one. And yesterday we did the handoff. And when JP and I brought our beer sabers in there, along with the one that we were going to give to Christian, and we bought a beer, and because I want to clarify, you're allowed to bring them in. I think some people don't know, like, for sure. I don't feel like anybody's ever, like, really clarified that. You are able to bring the beer sabers into the building.
Yep.
So we brought them in, bought a beer, filled them up, and I think 7 or 8 people, because we were only in the concourse before the game, and we're kind of like, we were at one of those tables kind of off in the corner, but just the amount of 7 or 8 people came up asking if they were selling them in the building.
Yeah. Even the lady working the blue zone, when I went and got my beer, she's like, "You better put those away. There might be a fight over those." I know.
When like the 5th person walked up, I'm like, we're gonna get assaulted by the end of the night. We're not leaving with these.
See, Christian, he went back. We got there later than Christian, so he went up to his seats, and I was like, "You have to come down and get this, because I'm not going to be able to carry this around the whole night. Like, I can't leave this anywhere. Someone has to come get it, or someone's going to take it, I mean."
Lucky for us, we didn't run into that guy outside just acquiring Tage bobbleheads like Infinity Stones.
Have some shame.
How much do you think he would have paid us for the beer savers?
I don't know.
Could we have bought more? Could we have bought tickets to a playoff game?
Probably could have gotten a pretty penny. That's just
Maybe we
disgusting
should've.
behavior, though.
That's crazy. Did you see the size of that bag?
That he probably had 20 or 30 Tage bobbleheads.
That's just absurd. I felt so bad. I ran to my one buddy last night, and he didn't get one. And then just seeing that on Twitter,
Yeah.
leaving the game.
Get a grip.
That's horrible. If you listen to the show, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're not associated with us. You should be ashamed of your behavior. Yeah, like I saw it was like somebody posted a picture from in the game. Somebody took a picture from when they had it. Like in the arena. The game was going on, and it was going for like $200 on Facebook Marketplace.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Like, make some money however you want, but it's the Sabres give these away for free, and you're going out and selling them. I mean, I guess you're paying tickets, paying for tickets to get in the stadium, but still, like, have some damn shame.
I didn't even open the bobblehead. I don't even know if it's nice quality.
I have not opened it either, actually. I have it on my counter. I've not opened it.
We're keeping it in the box. It's going to be worth something
Yeah, because we're gonna resell it in a few years.
We're gonna resell it the ethical way, years in the future. It hasn't been open yet. Yeah,
that's right.
We resell in an ethical way, of course. All right. So we're gonna do a series preview. We're gonna talk about the Bruins series. Before we get to that, anything you want to touch on in these two games? 5-1 win in Chicago. That Chicago game was awesome. We did overtime. We did an overtime for the patrons after, so we talked a lot about it with them. But that was, God, what a way to cap off.
They were just toying with their food towards the end of the game. I mean, those last 2 goals were like, okay, this team's good. Like, this team's just having fun.
There's like times over the years where like they do that. They have like a super like overpassing goal, and like you just kind of laugh to yourself. That was one of the ones. The McLeod goal, I was just laughing to myself. Like, even Dunleavy, he was just like, and he scores. It goes left and right, and then it's in the back of the net.
Yeah. That's honestly all I got for that game.
Beat that team so bad they extended their GM.
Yeah, I can't believe they did that. That's like extending Botterill.
I don't think Davidson's that bad. Like, it's just funny because they've made 0 progress in the standings.
Yeah.
Oh well, not my problem. Been there before. They are certainly in like 2018 Sabres mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Tage hits 40 that night. Awesome. And just the 40th goal, like we said, like, my God.
Yeah. Dahlin got to his career high that game at 73 points. That was really cool.
Got up to 74 as well.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Sabres fans traveled well there. Like I was saying this in the overtime episode, but like I don't really recall Chicago being like a big travel spot for Sabres fans. Like they were loud that night. You heard Lou chants like immediately once Chicago fans were really filing out of there towards the end. You could really hear them on the broadcast. Just awesome, man. Just really, really fun. You know, that was like the last real meaningful game of the season. And that was fun just to watch that develop in real time, checking the score and being like, oh, Detroit's only down by 1? Like it's 3-2 against Tampa. Then you turn it on, you're like, holy shit. They tied the game and took Tampa to overtime, lost like immediately, which was hilarious. And then that set the stage for the Sabres to take over. So funny that Detroit, they really pulled through. They put all their effort into that game and gave 0 effort into their last remaining game in Florida.
Yes, thank you, Patrick Kane. Helped us secure the Atlantic Division. But yeah, that last game, I mean, their worst 2 analytic performances of the season were that night with Maurice Sider and Simon Edmondson.
Yeah, like that hockey stat card account was posting like the worst performance of the year. I didn't know the second one was, but like Sider's scorecard.
Both of them.
Yeah, it was. Yep, Edvinson and Sider.
In the last game of the year.
-6 and -5 game score. Good God.
Yeah. And their head coach was not too happy.
No, he might have been a real clean 60. Clean 60 seconds.
Oh, it
fielded
was short.
like 3 questions. Yeah, he was not happy. I'm trying to find where's Florida's lineup that night. I need to read you some of the names.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Their third best, like off of hockey stat cards on Twitter. The guy who performed the third best for them that night, at least for the forward side of things, Wilmer Skoog. Wilmer Skoog.
Oh my God. That does not sound like a real name.
Skoog sounds like a Star Wars like race, essentially, or like I don't even know, a Skoog. Like, listen, this is the forward lineup they iced that night: Luke Cunnin, Cole Reinhardt, Wilmer Skoog, Cole Schwint, Vinny Hinostroza, Noah Gregor, Matt Kachuk, Eetu Luosterainen, Mackie Samoskevich, AJ Greer, Jesper Bachfist, and Nolan Foote. But listen to this defense core. Nicholas Hovorka, Marek Alscher, Donovan Sabrango, Mike Benning, Ludwig Janssen, and Tobias Bjornfoot. How did the Red Wings lose 8-1 to this team?
Mike Benning has 2 career goals, and they're both in this game.
Oh, my God. What the hell? I know Larkin didn't play for the Red Wings, but good God.
I think that was literally it. I think it was only
That was
Larkin.
it. It was the rest of the roster was fine.
I mean, even Gibson started, I'm pretty sure. They both played.
They definitely both played. They both played.
Yeah.
They were both about... Gibson was at minus 2.5 above expected. Talbot was at minus 2.1. Good God. That is... You know what was funny? Because we were at the game, and like we were looking at the Sabres. They had a ticker going, like flipping through all the NHL games. And like at one point, it's like, oh man, they're down like 2-0 after one. Like, yeesh. And then at one point, it's like, oh, it's 5-0. Like, oh God. And then we got to the car, and we're like, it finished 8-1. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
That's tough. And I said to you at one point, I'm like, that is how you know they are like deep into a drought. There's nothing more Sabres drought than ending your season with bad losses in Florida. They had to have done that like 3 or 4 times over the years.
Yeah.
Brutal. But anyways, Chicago, great night for the Sabres. Obviously, like I said, capped off a division win. Just really nice cherry on top for a lot of guys. And Dallas game, not too much to really parse through. I mean, this
everything to talk about is kind of funny. It's like your top line was Greenway, Kozak, and Tuck.
Off the opening draw.
Zach Benson played over 24 minutes, which was 3 minutes higher than his career high. I mean, he was
the
literally
best player
doing
on the
whatever
ice last night.
He was doing whatever he wanted with the puck. It was crazy. And he's hot at the right time, genuinely. Like, he's been playing great recently, and he was unbelievable last night. I mean, the 5-forward power play was hilarious, and it actually was pretty good. Like, it wasn't that bad. And then the second power play unit had 2 or 3 defensemen on it.
Like Zach Metz
and
is playing
Tanner
the
Pearson.
bumper.
Yeah. It's like, what is going on? This is hilarious.
That's why last night was so fun. Even like it ended the way it did. Like, God, the vibes were high. It was a fun game still, and just like the funny stuff that you'll just never see from a lineup, like that. Just so funny.
Like, by the way, that was against the Stars' fully healthy lineup right now. Like, they have 2 injuries.
Like, we've been talking.
Miro and Hintz are hurt. Like, they were going to be out no matter what.
Imagine
Ottinger played. Robertson played.
Tampa wins. Imagine Tampa wins in regulation against Detroit. And, like, that game means something. Obviously, Dallas wasn't going all out because it was the last game before the playoffs, but, like, it would have been a bit of a nuisance of a game to win the division with. Like, we were slowly... We didn't look at their opening lineup. We were just kind of parsing through as each line took their shift, and I was like, oh, okay, Rantanen's playing. Okay, Johnston's out there. Duchesne's out there. Okay, that makes sense. And then it was like Robertson's taking a shift. Harley played. I'm forgetting a few forwards, I think. But like they didn't sit anybody.
No.
Hintz and Heiskanen are hurt.
Yeah.
And Ottinger started, obviously. I know DeSmith started the last game for them, but still, like, it's funny.
And that was for 3rd place in the year.
Took him to the shootout.
3rd place of the season. Yep.
Bailed out by skills competition.
Yep. And I'm going to say it once again. I've been saying it for a few months now, and at some point we will put a goals video together of Josh Norris and just show him shooting on the left side of the ice versus the right side of the ice. Because genuinely, I'm not even joking. He can shoot however he wants on the one side, but for whatever reason, on the other side of the ice, he literally cannot shoot. Like, he had 2 or 3 one-time opportunities last night, and he decided to pass all of them. So my question is, genuinely, and I'm talking to you, Seth Appert, if I can see it sitting from my couch that this dude cannot shoot on that side of the ice, why is he on that side of the ice on the power play? And why was he on that side of the ice for 75 games on the power play? It took it to the last week of the season to take him off it.
Well, actually only like 30 because he was barely healthy. But I digress.
I guess. Like, it's genuinely so obvious to me. He cannot shoot on his offside. When he's coming down on the left side, he can shoot and he'll snipe. He's shown that in the last week, but he cannot shoot on his offside.
This is becoming one of my best pieces of work. The jinxing. I've totally I've jinxed half of his shoulder. Like, how many times have I sent you and Christian a clip of him in Ottawa just absolutely wiring a puck, and I'm just like, where is this? And then it popped up in games 81 and 82 out of nowhere. Like, all right, hey, you know what? Getting hot at the right time. Like, you know what? He figured out one side of the ice, the right side of the ice. It's a work in progress. It is what it is.
Just stay on the one side of the ice.
I mean, that was a ridiculous shot. I mean, because we're in the corner.
Snipe.
We're on the corner where of the left shoulder of Onger, so we perfectly saw that just kind of scale up and go over Onger. Like, it was nuts from far out. It's cool. Let's see, do it more.
That was as advertised when we traded for him, and we really haven't seen that much or at all.
How many power play goals did he have this year? 2?
Well, he had the Flyers one. That's his kind of infamous goal. He had 2 and 7 assists.
2 power play goals this year, and half the talk around him was how he scores the most goal. He has the highest goals per 60, or he's top 5 in goals per 60 on the power play since entering the league.
Well, yeah, 21, 22, 16 power play goals. Year before that, 6, 23, 24, 5, and then 24, 25 before he was traded to us, he had 6 goals. And this year he had 2.
Okay. I guess that's what we're rocking with going to the playoffs. But hey, good to see. Really great to see signs of life. Him, like I said, he absolutely ripped. That Chicago shot was ridiculous. I mean, you had 2 guys freaking out, just those 2 guys in the crowd that had the perfect view of it, just going oh, you couldn't hear them, but you could hear them. They were oh my god.
It was a snipe.
So more of that.
And
let's do that to Swayman a few times.
That would be nice. They sat Tage, Dahlin, McLeod, Samuelson, and Zucker last night.
What do you think about those
all
picks?
of them? I mean, Tage makes the most sense. Dahlin makes sense. Zucker's an old man. Samuelson, the dude in the past has been made of glass. McLeod I was a little surprised by, but I mean, he's played 81 games.
Playing Norris.
Yeah, Norris was kind of the crazy one. I mean, knowing his injury history to play him.
And just the whole second line in general.
They played a lot.
Bit surprising. I mean, yeah, Benson played. The fact Benson played 25 minutes and was at practice today.
Yeah.
Guys, he's the best, dude. He's
yeah.
How could you hate this guy?
I said it jokingly, but it was probably the coach's logic. He's the youngest guy on the team. He's got the freshest legs of anybody. He could play the most tonight. Why not?
Funny.
But with that lineup they put in, Josh Doan, Jack Quinn, Bowen Byram, and Peyton Krebs played all 82 games. And quite frankly, Tage and McLeod should have also been added to that list. So, I mean, that's...
And was Dahlin hurt? Was Dahlin hurt at all this year? I don't think he was.
He missed 5 games. I thought he missed a game or 2 because of injury.
Maybe you're right, because
he only missed just because of when he stepped out.
He only missed 2 or 3 because of the absence. So maybe he did. Maybe he did miss one for injury.
Beck only missed 1 game. I don't even remember that. Owen Power missed the first game of the season.
Can we talk about how much of a miracle it is Beck Malenstein played 81 games this year?
It's a miracle he played last night after the shot he took against Chicago.
I thought he broke his femur.
The dude is he's a warrior.
I like he is gonna need a Bacta tank just to sit in there all summer. Guy's a warrior. He's unreal. I don't know how he played 81 games. Set the most grueling 81 game season you've probably seen out of a Sabre in a long time. Obviously, he doesn't play a ton every night, but set the single season record for hits as a Sabre. And I would assume Alex Tuch might have set the record last year for block shots. I would be willing to bet Beck Malenstein he blocked the most shots with his chest. If we had advanced shot blocking statistics, if he was this guy threw his entire body mass at the puck the most amount of times, it would be him.
He was second on the team in block shots for forwards, behind Tuch. But yeah, 75.
Tuch's a merchant. He's a shot blocking merchant. He just absorbs shin pads.
Mattias Samuelsson had 59 more block shots than the next closest. He had 154. Power at 95.
And it's nice to see Jack Quinn put together 82 games as well. I know.
Seriously.
I mean, how many games did he play last year? He had a mostly full season last year, right?
He was scratched some games.
He was scratched. Yeah, so he played 74. So, the injury talk hasn't been that prevalent with him recently. But obviously, when the Sabres drafted him, that first little mini season he played with the Amerks, wasn't he playing with a slip disc or something towards the end? Or I remember the Amerks said he was playing through something. Then the year after that, he was on and off the ice. And then obviously it was the year after that, after his rookie season, where he played mostly a full year. He had the torn Achilles and then the high ankle sprain. So that was a guy that had some injury question marks at one point, and now he's played 82 games. And
yeah,
you want to talk about a guy that took advantage of last night being a very free and open ice surface. It was him. He was flying too.
Yeah, it was. I mean, being healthy is one of the reasons why we are where we are this year. I mean, you look at pretty much all of our best players.
They had the most man games lost. I know what you mean, though. A lot of their important guys.
Yeah. Tage 81, Dahlin 77, Tuch 79, McLeod 81, Doan 82, Quinn 82, Zucker had 62, which is still quite a bit. Benson 65, Byram 82, Samuelson 78, Krebs 82, Power 81, Malenstein 81. I mean, other than Norris, who had 44, all of your top players played at least 60 games this season. Oslin played 60. They stayed healthy this year, and that's always a part of it. I mean, especially if you think of last year when Dahlin was hurt. I mean, he was not himself. With how much Tage played this year with the Olympics, these guys.
That guy needs a bag to tank.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of hockey the last year.
These guys battled. They deserve where they are. And we haven't mentioned it yet, but Sabres lost without Rasmus Dahlin. Another one boost is Norris.
Another one for the Norris and Hart propaganda.
Yep. Were they?
I was thinking about that. I'm like, what
were
they
they
get Hart
5 against him without him this year?
They got to win eventually.
Okay, so 1-4 without him?
I think they beat Boston without him, now that I think about it. I think that game in Buffalo, Dahlin did not play. I feel like I vividly remember that because they'd finally gotten one. Because I remember Samuelson had 4 points. It was a stupid team. Stupid hockey team. Stuff like that. All right, any final thoughts on the Sabres' regular season?
Hell of a season.
There was one thing I want to ask you about. How are we feeling about the penalty kill?
It's kind of how it's been all year, to be honest. Just been.
Well, we're going to talk about it. I feel like the national media will look at us and be like, "What are we at? The 4th best?" Sixth best?
Oh, it was sixth. Fourth best. You are
Fourth
correct.
best. Like, people are going to look at that and be like, man, the Sabres have an elite penalty kill. It's like, results-wise, sure, but
They're very aggressive. Like, they're
That's
second in the
definitely-
league, I think, in shorthanded goals with 11. They get their chances. Sometimes they'll have penalty kills where McLeod and Tuck are just buzzing, and it looks great. But if another team gets set up in their zone, they're gonna find some holes and they're gonna get some shots off, and it comes down to the goalie then. I mean, I think I couldn't find the numbers, but UPL's numbers had to be really good on the penalty kill this year. Where years past, I know his numbers were not good on the penalty kill.
I bet I could look at that right now, actually.
yeah, I just think, not to jump ahead into the preview, but like that, Boston obviously runs through Pasternak. It'll just be interesting to see if like they are a team that can take advantage of that aggressiveness. Because there are some teams that definitely can and have owned. Then what team did the Sabres recently go like 0 for against to like start a game? What? I'm trying to remember. What was it? It was one of their losses. Do you have their schedule pulled up?
Yeah.
Read me off their losses.
Tampa, Carolina. Oh, wait. Sorry, this is Boston. I was looking at something for Boston. Washington, Ottawa, Detroit, Boston, Anaheim.
It was Washington? I don't know.
Washington.
Anyways, Luukkonen was 20th in the league in goals saved above expected on the kill. Lyon was 8th.
Okay.
I wonder where Ellis is. I would imagine he's a positive. Maybe not. Where is he at? No, he was slightly negative. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that'll be talked about more in the preview. Any other final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think we could wrap this regular. Oh, actually, you know what? We talk about the defenseman a little from last night. Any vibes on who we think the sixth defenseman is going to be?
I don't know
think-
if we were just
I
having
think I
a
can
weird.
comfortably. I know
we
what
were
you're
like.
gonna say.
I don't know why. Like, I think you said it, and then I just kind of was like, yeah, like that vibe just feels correct. It kind of feels like Connor Timmins is going to be the game one guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's maybe that's a good way to segue from the penalty kill, but it might be like penalty kill attributed, like a guy that can theoretically, quote unquote, theoretically move the puck, even though sometimes he moves the puck to the other team. But it's a guy that can play on the penalty kill, or like another quote unquote, he can play on the penalty kill. I don't know if it's always good, but it just feels like he might be game one. I don't know. There was only one reporter. It was only Rachel Lindsay. She tweeted out lines at practice today. Nobody had any pairs. So we don't have really any idea yet. But I can tell you this. I don't think it's going to be Zach Metza.
Yeah, I think the last few weeks have been rough for him. He got off his PDO bender, and
yeah.
I mean, I don't think him and Stanley ever really meshed the best. I mean, when Metza was on his PDO bender, they were fine.
They were getting
I
results.
just don't think they meshed. I think I can confidently say Zach Benson was the best player on the ice last night. I can also confidently say Luke Shen might have been the worst player on the ice last night.
He was so bad.
I don't think he's going to play. He better not. Well, I can only see him playing in like late in a series.
I will
really
say
physical,
game one,
but he was
like,
bad.
this team only has like 300 games of I think it was like 260 games of playoff experience, while Luke Schen's got a lot of it. Let's throw him in for game 1.
It was bad.
He was really bad last night.
And I thought Kesselring was fine.
He was fine.
The only thing I made note of is that at least to start the game, Stanley and Kesselring were together.
That is true.
I don't think it means anything. They had 7 defensemen. They were rotating the whole night, but they did start the night together, and I'd rather see Kesselring in there than probably any of the others, but they definitely have more confidence in Timmins, whether that's valid or not.
I didn't even end up looking. What was the time on ice looking like last night?
I didn't check for defensemen if you want to check.
So Power had the most, 22. Then Stanley at 20. Then Byram at 19. Then Timmins at 16. Then Kesselring at 15. Then Metza. Then Luke Schenn. Am I missing one? I feel like I missed the defenseman in there. I think I got it.
Byram, did you say?
No, Byram did. So it went Power, Stanley, Byram. No surprise. 4th most was Timmins. 5th most was Kesselring. 6th was Metza. 7th was Schenn.
This is what I've been saying for a few weeks now. I think it's going to come down to that 6th guy has to play special teams, and Timmins is the only one really down there that does. I mean, Metza technically has been, but they like Timmins for his penalty kill. I think he's going to be the game 1 guy.
I
think he's been rocky recently with the puck on his stick.
Yep. All right. So, before we go any further, I do just want to take this second. A word from our sponsor. If you're hurting a car, you can call our sponsor, William Matar. 844-444-4444. With a focus on motor vehicle accidents, the team at William Matar has handled thousands of cases like yours. Let them help you get the money you deserve after a motor vehicle accident. Rideshare, truck, motorcycle, car, only. Call William Matar. 844-444-4444. All right. JP, it's time for a series preview.
Let's go.
The weekly previews are done. Get them out of here. They're gone.
Let's go.
We gave you a round of applause last episode, right? Nice round of applause. Great season doing the weekly previews. Now it's your first series preview. Now it gets serious.
That's right. I'll be honest. The last month or so of weekly previews, I was getting a little
burnt out.
A little lack of motivation. I mean, the last 2 weeks I didn't even do it technically. I will say, going into the next season, I'm open to suggestions. Sometimes I think I did it too long. Let me know if people actually found it useful.
I feel like sometimes we got like a decent amount of comments. I feel like people listened.
Okay. I do think going into next year, my only thought, I think I should try and make it shorter. I think it would be helpful if you and Christian had some comments for the teams more. Like you guys would jump in. You would jump in, but I'm saying like some planned stuff, like some stuff I didn't have written down. I don't know. That was my only thought.
You're right. I don't do nearly enough for this show.
Yeah, you don't do enough. Regardless, we put in the work for this one. I wish I actually did more research, but I did quite a bit.
So we did put in the work.
I got quite a bit.
Guys, we put in the work, but I wish I did more.
Well, yes, both can be true. Both can be true. I'm literally grabbing more stats as like I just grabbed another stat.
All right.
Like
I can see your eyes darting. You're excited. You're so hyped about this.
I got a lot of stuff.
I'm excited too. All right. How do we want to do this? Do you want to take the reins?
I think.
Well, I'll tee it up.
The graphic.
I'll tee it up. Yeah, I do have a few graphics for any of our video audience, any people that like to watch us while we're talking. So got a few graphics I put together that kind of goes in tandem with JP. But officially, I guess we can talk about this for a little bit. The Buffalo Sabres will be playing the Boston Bruins in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Their first meeting since 2010. Game 1 will be Sunday. We don't know the time yet. I think it's going to be 7 o'clock. Little like dot connecting. Mike Monaco. He said he was working the game. He works for ESPN. Same with Ray Ferraro. They're both ESPN guys. ESPN has the 2 late night time slots, which are 7 and I believe 10. So, I don't think the Sabres are playing at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So you can only surmise that they'll play 7 o'clock on Sunday. So the Boston Bruins. How does it feel to avoid the Ottawa Senators? Let's start with that. As the other playoff opponent that was possible. We were talking about that on Sunday. How does it feel that it's not them? I think we went into it a little bit there, but I don't think nearly enough because we wanted to see who was who. How does it feel that it's the Bruins and not Ottawa?
I think it definitely feels good. I think of any of the 4 teams we could have faced. I mean, we could have dropped in the standings and been 2 or 3 seed this past week. I think we avoided the 3 better teams. It's not saying Boston. Like, I don't want to. With all the talking we're about to do, I'm gonna have some stuff to say about them, but they're still a good team. They still had 100 points.
There's no fake 100-point teams. This was like the thing in my head. Like I would be lying if I said I wasn't pulling for them hard to be their opponent.
Yes.
But like now that the dust has settled, it's begun to sunk in. It's like, yeah, they're still a good hockey team. Even if they're good, even if like the things that maybe we value as important, like, hey, good depth throughout your lineup at 5-on-5. Like I think, most of the game is played at 5-on-5. So when they're lower in those stats, you might think to yourself, well, this team's weak. Like we should bully them. And it's like, no, like they're the best finishing team in hockey. I don't think that's necessarily by accident, or even if it regresses next year. You're in this year right now. They have been hot with their shooting, and I haven't even mentioned Jeremy Swayman yet. Their power play is incredibly good. Like, this is a series that the Sabres can absolutely lose.
Yes. The story of the Bruins, like, it's basically their star power, and they have the best expected goal differential in the league. And I will mention the Sabres are second. So it's like
above expected.
Yes. If you want to call like Boston a fake team because of that, the Sabres are literally right behind them. But it's that the Sabres have better underlyings. But like the Bruins, it's really their star power that really carries them. So I think in conclusion, yes, I did not want to face Ottawa. We've been talking about that for a month or so now. Like, they are legitimately good. They just have had shit goaltending most of the year. And if Allmark gets hot, if he gets hot, that's a dangerous team. He doesn't even need to get
hot. Like, that's the thing. It's like with them, he doesn't even need to get hot. Like, Swayman has to get hot, or like has to keep playing great because he's been fantastic all season. He just has to keep at that level. Whereas like Allmark, he just has to be decent. Like I think. Allmark's weird because obviously there's the bad playoff history and whatnot, so I don't know how I feel about him in that Carolina series. But the point is, like, Ottawa is just not a team. I just feel like they match the Sabres well, and vice versa. The Bruins, I just feel like are a team. My takeaway from this series, I think this is going to be a series where I think the Sabres are going to be able to learn playoff hockey with more margin for error. I think that's the way I describe it. Like, this talk of this series is like, hey, the Sabres don't have experience. And I think that's fair. Like, I think that matters. I just also think, because I believe the Sabres are a better hockey team, I think that they're going to be able to, like if they have a stinker first game, or like not even a stinker, but just like it seems like the Bruins are more meant for the moment. Like they're going to be able, I think, to regroup a lot easier than in a series against Ottawa. Not even a lot. I just think there's more room for error in this series. Where like this could be messy. They could take this to 7 games, even though maybe on paper it shouldn't. I think the Sabres are just going to be able to, if they have issues with the lack of experience and whatnot, I think they'll be able to pick themselves up more.
Yeah, I also think this is a series where they could very well lose, but I think they will look like the better team most nights, almost no matter what. It could just be Swayman and Pasternak kind of going crazy. Where I do think Ottawa, and I'm gonna throw the Canadians in there too, and Tampa too. Like I think they could really blitz you. Where I don't think the Bruins can do that as much. Like we'll get into it more, but their top line, like if you look at Money Puck, their expected goal percentage, their top line, which most of the year has been Geeky, Lindholm, and Pasternak, they have a 44.1 expected goals percentage at 5-on-5. So I think
it's hard
out of
to
any
like
of the teams in our division, this is the team I think anybody would have wanted to play. I don't think it's
like
just the Sabres. I think it's
think
anybody.
This is the quote unquote worst team in the East. Well, maybe. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think there's a case to be made. They're better than the Flyers. But even then, that's like a Tocchet team, so like it's a similar level of like, oh, I don't know if I'd want a playoff series against them.
Yeah.
Same thing. You get the idea. For like Atlantic teams, or like for the Atlantic Division winner, if you're choosing between Ottawa and Boston, I think at the very least you're picking Boston because you think that Ottawa's a better team.
Mm-hmm. And Ottawa in the playoffs last year, they got a good team, and they're playing good at the right time. Where Boston has kind of also, they haven't been the best recently either. They just had a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, they lost 5 of their last 7.
Yeah, they've lost.
They won the last 2, but I think they lost 5 straight.
Yeah, they're 5-3-2 in their last 10. If you even go back to before the break, they had a winning record 32-20-5. After the break, 13-7-5. So they had a overall losing record since the break. They haven't been playing their best hockey, but they lost. I mean, they won their last 2 games, so that could change everything. But I just think the other teams are playing better now, and they have deeper rosters. The one thing that's Boston has over any of these teams, I would say minus Lightning because they can match up with this, is elite goaltending.
Agreed. All right, let's get into a more formal review of the Boston Bruins as a team. So like I said, I'll share my screen here and pull up some graphics, and JP, I'll let him take the reins with some of their stats.
Yeah, so the Bruins, they finished 45-27-10. They finished with 100 points, 4th in the Atlantic. If you look a little more into their record, 33 regulation wins. Sabres had 42. They had 8 overtime wins and 4 shootout wins. I already said before the break they were 32-20-5. After the break, 13-7-5. They had a 5-game losing streak recently. I think the biggest thing that sticks out to me about their record, and this is, I think, one of the biggest keys to this series, is their home and away splits are very, very polarizing and opposite. At home, they are one of the better teams in the league, 29-11-1. That's a 70.7 winning percentage. That's got to be towards the top of the league. This was one of the things that I wanted to look for a little more, but I didn't have the time, is just to see where they ranked in the league. But then if you go to away, they're 16-16-9, which is a 39% win percentage.
Second best home record in the NHL.
Second best. And what is their away record? Like, worst?
Let me see. One sec.
Sorry, hold on. Obviously, it's not going to be very good. I think I confirmed you that.
I mean, I can confidently say, or at least assume, among like the playoff teams, they've got to be bottom 2 or 3. If you compare them against the Canucks, I'm sure they have a better record than the Canucks. But
probably. Let's see. They are 21st.
okay, so 21st. If you throw playoff teams into that, I'm assuming they're
Right,
worse.
this is correct, right? They were 16, 16, and 9.
Yep, 16, 16, and 9.
21st.
And are there any playoff teams behind them?
Anaheim.
Okay.
That's it.
So second worst away record out of the remaining playoff teams, but the second best home record of all teams in the league. This is one of the biggest keys this series. You have to take advantage of your games at home, especially these first 2 games. Like this first game is massive just for momentum purposes, but their record it's bad. It's bad away, and you have to take advantage of that for whatever reason. They just play so much better at home. That is something that stuck out to me a lot while I was researching them, and even once we get to talking about stats, Swayman's stats are way better at home compared to away. So big key to the series. If you get into their record versus us this year, we went 1-1-2 against them this year, so not good. We were 1-0-1 at home, 0-1-1 away. Quick recap on the games this season. Third game of the season, we lost 3-1. We didn't have a shot until like the second period. It was just early in the season. Second game against them, October 30th, a few weeks later, 4-3 overtime loss. Then December 27th, in the midst of our winning streak, we beat them 4-1. And then a few weeks ago, March 25th, a 4-3 overtime loss, and this was the Pavel Zacha OT winner. So 2 overtime losses, 1 big win, and then 1 loss, which shouldn't even count. It was so early in the season.
I don't even go as far as to say the second one as well.
Yeah.
Basically, none of these losses I would count. Even their last loss, it was 3 days rest. They were coming back from the West Coast. So basically, the Sabres are undefeated against the Bruins.
If you put it that way, yeah, they're 1-0-0 against them.
And the
this
game
season.
they won, like I said, no Rasmus Dahlin. So honestly, yeah, undefeated.
Yep. Okay. If we want to get into some team stats, they were 11th in the league in goals per game, and I think Sabres were right above them, I believe. And now the rest of these stats, some actual analytics on them, and this is where you'll kind of see where the argument can be made that the Bruins aren't as good as they might be perceived to. These are all from Jay Fresh. He usually posts these every week, but he didn't really post them during the playoff push. So the last time is from April 5th, but I mean, that's most of the season. First in the league in goal differential above expected at 41.5 goals above expected. The Sabres were second with 32.7. So the Bruins scored or saved 9 more goals than the next closest team. That comes down to their goaltending and then just their shot. Their shooting.
I think that can be all encompassing of a team. I think, like who, you probably don't have it in front of you, but I'd be curious to know like who the top 10 were. Like I'm sure it's all playoff teams.
I do
think
not
it's just,
have it up right now.
I do think it's just indicative of like, yeah, you might think, oh, this team's getting lucky, but it doesn't matter. The luck is still going.
Yeah,
Even if I don't even think it's luck. I think it's just
I was going to say,
finish.
You can phrase it as luck. I just think it shows the finishing and then good goaltending.
They finish and get saves.
It's the story of the Bruins, pretty much.
Yeah,
finishing and good goaltending. I'm trying to pull it up right now. April 7th. I'm almost to the stats. All right, goals above expected. Bruins, Sabres, Avalanche, Islanders, Dallas, Canadiens, Penguins, Rangers, Capitals, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually a few.
But the only non-playoff
few
teams,
non-playoff teams.
the Islanders, who it's like Sorokin carrying, and then
Yes.
Rangers, you attribute that to Shesterkin probably,
And the Capitals.
and Logan Thompson has been like, he might get a Vezina, he might win the Vezina. I don't think he will, but like he might be a finalist. So it's like there's a consensus here. These teams get great goaltending and they score a lot.
Yes. And by the way, just to jump on the Ottawa conversation we had a few minutes ago, they're 29th in the league and negative 28.9.
Good God, can't even imagine what it was like in like December.
Yeah, that's pretty much all goaltending. Okay, if you break that stat down even more, goals save above expected, third in the league with 16.8. The Sabres were fifth at 13.8. Goals scored above expected, first with 24.7. Sabres are second with 18.9. 5v5 team defense. This is always one of the things that some people will bring up against the Sabres, that their defensive numbers might not be as good as they're actually perceived to be. The Sabres are 17th in the league. The Bruins are 19th in the league. 5v5 expected goals per 60. Bruins 22nd in the league. Sabres 13th in the league. And then the last one, 5v5 expected goals share. Once again, they're 22nd at 48.2%. The Sabres are 14th with 50.7%. So that's a combination of team defense and expected goals for. So Sabres slightly above average, where the Bruins are below average. So this is where the underlying argument comes into play, that the Sabres on paper and analytically are the better team, but the Bruins can outshoot or outsave their problems. If you want to go into their special teams, this is also one of the reasons why they are where they are.
Yeah, this is going to be a big key. We know if the Sabres, even if like this series can be determined by special teams entirely. Like if Swayman gets on a hot streak and is able to kind of stonewall a Sabres team, then it will come down to power plays and just overall special teams. And the Bruins have a very good power play, 9th in the NHL. And anybody can see why. It runs through David Pastrnak, who has left his left side of the ice where he was for so many years. He's now on the right side. His game has evolved so much this season. He has become not only one of the better he's always been one of the better goal scorers in the NHL. Do you know how many he had this year? You probably do.
I'm looking at
29.
it right now.
29 goals. He had 71 assists.
Yep.
He has very quietly become one of the best playmakers in the NHL.
For comparison, his last 4 years, he had 43 goals, 47, 61, and 40. And he's had more assists this year, 63, 63, 52, and 37.
He has taken upon himself to be more of a facilitator. And the power play, you're going to see in this series, is going to be a big example of that, because the trigger guy is not him anymore. It's Morgan Geekie, who led their team with 39 goals. And that's going to be big. This power play, there was never a playoff opponent they were going to play that doesn't have a very good power play. I mean, Tampa's, we know, is ridiculous. Montreal, same thing. And then Ottawa has always had a very solid power play. No matter what, they were probably going to play somebody that I'm not looking at the top 10 list. I would guess they're all in the top 10. And this could be a big decider in the series. So it's definitely going to be something the Sabres need to hone in on. And whenever the Sabres played Tampa, they kind of had them. I feel like they got results those games. And I remember they had a few different looks. Like you could tell they had film on them and they were looking at certain things.
Actually, This
Interesting.
is the one stat I was pulling while we were talking earlier. If you go game by game, the first game, both teams went 0 for 4. Second game, the Sabres went 1 for 5, Bruins went 1 for 4. Third game, Sabres went 0 for 3, Bruins went 0 for 1. The fourth game, the Sabres went 2 for 3, Bruins went 0 for 2. So they actually only have one power play goal against us this year. I do think, if you look at those last two games especially, they didn't give them that many chances, which I think is a big key. Like, you got to stay out of the box. So they're 1 for 11, where we are actually 3 for 15. It's just, don't give them that many opportunities.
Yeah. Well, my point was, like, it's clear, like, for the Tampa games, I think they were really trying some stuff, and they were trying to make, like, Kucherov, like, the power play in Tampa runs through Kucherov, and you're going to see a lot more movement out of Pasternak because he's on his forehand side, but it's like, I think they could maybe, they're going to need to have some similar adjustments there, because, like I said, that power play, it's going to be a key factor. It just is. It's going to be one of the main ways Boston's going to get goals in this series, and it's a very key part of the storyline here. And on the flip side, like, their penalty kill's 24th. The Sabres have a bad power play. I don't expect that to change. Would be very happy if it did. But it's still a penalty kill, like, you can get results against.
Yep.
So you need to come prepared in that area as well.
They only have 2 shorthanded goals. So at least this is a team where they might not be able to take advantage of all of the Sabres mishaps. It's definitely something where if your power play can get hot, you can take advantage of it. But we know how our power play is.
Wouldn't count on it.
Yeah. And by the way, of the 4 division teams we could have played, they had the second best power play, only behind the Senators. So it's definitely a big storyline. The power play, you can't let them get hot. If they go on a shooting bender on that power play, like, there's a good chance you're not going to win the series. And if you can take advantage of that penalty kill, I mean, that's a huge factor.
And we've mentioned him multiple times, but I think this is a good point to jump over to who is really the key part of this series. It's Jeremy Swayman. One of the best goaltenders in hockey. We know this. He's been fantastic for them. Basically, ever since he's entered the league, there's been 2 playoff series where he, as a Bruin, has come in, not been the starting goaltender, and has left the playoffs their starting goaltender, even once they got eliminated. This is not a guy with, like, a choking history, unlike, like, Allmark is something we would have been talking about. This guy gets results in the playoffs, even if, like, I guess I don't have the numbers pulled up directly in front of me currently, but, like, it's nothing bad. It's nothing like, man, this is like a Hellebuck situation.
His career playoff stats, his record's only 9-10, but he has a career .922 save percentage and a 2.38 goals against. If you go to his most recent playoff push, which was 23-24, this is where they beat the Leafs in the first round, and then they lost to the soon-to-be Cup champions, Panthers. He went 6-6, but he had a .933 and a 2.15 goals against. In that first round against Tampa, he didn't let up more than 2 goals once. They won, like, all the games they lost, it was 2-1. It was 2-1, and then he, like, let up 1 goal in a bunch of those other games. So he's a playoff performer. He's very good. He had a great year.
I was going to say, he's also a regular season performer as well. 31, 18, and 4, 908 save percentage, 2.71 goals against average, and then, biggest of all, a 52.27 goals saved above expected, second best in the NHL if you're going off of Evolving Hockey's model. This guy was a monster this season.
Yep. Money Puck has him at second, too. He had a great year. The only thing that you can...
There's one thing.
You can hold against him, and I mentioned it before already. His home versus away splits. It makes sense when your star goalie, who is probably the biggest or second biggest factor of your team, if he doesn't play good at home or if he doesn't play good away, you're not going to have a good record away. At home, he's 10-4, a .920 save percentage, and a 2.18 goals against. Away, on the other hand, 12-11-3, an .889 save percentage, and a 3.26 goals against. He's letting up over another goal per game at away. So he is one of the best in the league, but if he has a weakness this game, it's away. So like that's why I'm saying these first 2 games of this series are the 2 biggest games of the series. And I'll quickly mention Korpisalo. He's their backup. Swayman's going to play every single game. But to quickly mention Korpisalo, he had an all right year, 14-9-6, he had an .894. His home and away splits are the same. Like the Bruins are kind of just across the board, better at home, worse away. He does his playoff stats. His career playoff stats is 5-9, a .922, 2.59, but that's really all carried by his Columbus Blue Jackets run in 1920, where he had a .941 and 1.9 goals against in 8 games. In his most recent playoffs, where he was a starter in 22-23 for the Kings, he was 2-4, .892, and 3.77 goals against. So you're going to see Swayman every single game, but in case, stuff happens. I don't think you have too much to be worried about with Korpisalo, but you never know. If we want to talk about their actual players, forwards and defensemen, their top 11 forwards are pretty locked in and have played almost the entire year. It's Pastrnak, who had 100 points this year, 7th most points in the league, 5th most assists in the league, and he averages the most time on ice each night for the forwards. Second on the team in points was Morgan Geekie, who had a huge year, 39 goals, which led the team, 29 assists. He is the 3rd most time on ice per game for forwards. Then you get to Pavel Zacha, who had 65 points, Victor Arvidsson, Elias Lindholm, who had 17 goals, 31 assists. He averages the 2nd most time on ice for forwards. Elias Lindholm, when I was looking at Jay Fresh's tweets, he had a tweet about he will put up some of the worst analytic numbers, but he will still have 50 points. He was like, it was basically all red, if you can imagine it.
That's another big part of this series. Like, you're playing with Pastrnak and Geekie, so like, I don't think it'll matter that much. But at the same time, like, I do think Elias Lindholm stinks. Like we've been joking on this show for the last few weeks that like, we don't feel the greatest about Tage Thompson's game heading in. That like that's something that maybe teams could poke at. But I mean, the Bruins have Elias Lindholm. I don't think. Never been a big fan of that player.
No. Casey Middlestat is next on the team in points. Or
I
at
hope
least
he does so good. I hope he does
forwards.
so good.
15 goals, 27 assists. He's playing on the wing. He's not centering. But yeah, we will be facing. It will probably be the only actual former Sabre we're facing. It's a good chance Jokiharju does not play, so it's going to be Mitz, and we'll see how he does.
I think he'll get in the game.
He might get in a game, but Mitz
if
will
the
play
Sabres,
every game.
If the Sabres if the Sabres take care of business, they'll be doing some lineup shuffling.
Yeah, and I believe Casey Middlestat just had a kid. Like that's why he's been sitting out the last few games. So congratulations to him.
Here comes the dad series. That's crazy to me. Casey Middlestat has kids.
That is crazy.
Just feels like yesterday I was watching him tear up Allentown.
Next, one of their young guns, Fraser Mitten, 17 goals and 18 assists. A pretty good season for their 21-year-old forward. And he played all 82 games this season. Here's a name. Murat Kuznetsov.
Oh my God, you nailed it. How did you nail that one?
Those Russian names aren't really that bad.
Oh,
not that bad.
Is he Russian?
15 goals, 18 assists. That's a Russian last name. I would hope so. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
You would be correct. I don't know why I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of those like Barkov situations.
Yeah. And then their fourth line. Actually, I just want to make sure because I was looking at this earlier. Jeannot. Yep. Tanner Jeannot, 6 goals, 16 assists. Sean Kurele, 6 goals, 16 assists, 82 games
up
played.
that way. It's Corelli. How do you get
Yeah.
Kushnadinov right? Oh my god.
And then Mark
Kastelik. Oh my god.
12 goals,
this
10
is so
assists,
funny.
82 games played. So 2 of their fourth liners played all 82 games. And for Kastelik, have to point out, second most penalty minutes in the league. You can guess who's first. We will be talking about him in a short minute here. But he's second most penalty minutes in the league, so he's going to try and get under your skin. Their 12th forward spot is kind of the one up for grabs. This is where the conversations kind of happen. The big storyline recently is they signed James Higgins out of college, and he's played 2 games recently, has an assist in those 2 games. I can't see him getting in to start the series.
Those 2 games were the last 2. So I don't think he's going to start either. We'll see if he gets in.
If they need some like scoring help towards the end of the series, I could see it. I wouldn't count on it though, but he is on the roster. Then they have Lucas Reichel, who they traded for this year. He's only played 2 games, but his name is kind of known. He was kind of a top prospect in the past. He has 1 goal, 2 assists. Then you have Michael Eyssimont, 8 goals, 10 assists, and Alex Steves, 9 goals, 7 assists. Both of them have played like 40, 50 games. I think it's going to be Eyssimont to start, but they're basically their top 11 forwards. They're locked in. Those bottom 4, or that last spot, is kind of where the conversation comes in. The only other stat I do have for their forwards is for each of their centers, I did put their face-off percentage. Pavel Zacha is at a 53.3%. Elias Lindholm, 56.2%. Sean Corelli, 51.1%, and then Fraser Minton at 49.5%. So they do have some good face-off guys, and obviously we are not the best at face-offs. Now, if we want to quickly go to defensemen, Charlie McAvoy, one of the best defensemen in the league, had 61 points. He had 50 assists. Most time on ice for defensemen. I believe he also plays a bunch on their penalty kill. Hampus Lindholm, second most time on ice for defensemen, 5 goals, 21 assists. Mason Lohrei, 7 goals, 19 assists. Nikita Zadorov, 2 goals, 20 assists. Most penalty minutes in the league. Third most time on ice for the defenseman. And he actually has the most shifts on their team. He will be a physical presence this entire series that we will definitely have to look out for. It's just how he plays. Then they have Andrew Peak and Jonathan Aspero.
Aspero's been such a random good story for them. He's playing on their top pair. He's been so good for them.
I know. I looked at their pairs and I was like, oh, they got Aspero up there, and even Peak is playing some minutes.
I know. He's been weirdly just so good for them.
Yeah. And that's exactly basically the reason why Henry Jokiharju might not play at all this series. We'll see. He played 41 games this year. He had 15 points. He's only played 8 games since the break, and I think they had 25. So he really hasn't been playing that much. So we'll see. And they also have Jordan Harris. He's only played 8 games. But I really think their roster is basically locked up with all 6 of the defensemen, their goalie, and 11 of their forwards. There's only one spot where you could have a conversation about, but that is the roster. And if Jonah wants to switch to the next graphic, we could actually look at the lines. If you want to compare these two.
We can do that. All right, so I'll take the lead here. Say
Quickly.
Okay, never mind.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Nope. Go ahead.
I always
Jesus.
jump in. They really didn't have any trade deadline additions, really nothing, and they only have one injury, and it's Dan Melis.
Who has not played this
He's
season.
out for the season.
They have no injuries.
So they're
have
completely
no
healthy.
injuries.
Completely healthy.
Like
and
Zach
they
is day to
basically-
day. That's it.
Yeah. So they're healthy, and they didn't really make any big additions this season. This has been the roster their entire season.
Yep. So we'll start with the Sabre side of things. This is a lineup that we've seen a lot over the past few weeks. Your top line: Krebs, Thompson, Tuck, Benson, Norris, Doan, Zucker, McLeod, Quinn, and then as I mentioned earlier, only Rachel Lindsay tweeted out lines at practice today, so I'm going off of what she said, and nobody said like Jordan Greenway was hurt. Tuck wasn't there obviously, but Pearson just slotted in. So I think obviously it was a maintenance day for Tuck. So the fourth line of practice today was Dunn, Kozak, and Malenstein. That's what they had. That's what I'm going off of. I know everybody might think like, oh, Greenway's probably going to get in. I'm just saying that was the trio at practice today. As for the
Greenway's
defense,
gonna be in.
oh god, okay, okay. Well, I know Boston had him on the series graphic, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, he's one
They
of our.
know.
Yeah, I mean he's part of the leadership group. So yeah,
Yeah,
they
that
know.
is true. That is true. The defense, as we know, Samuelson and Dahlin on the top pair, then Power and Byram, and then as JP and I were kind of talking about earlier, I feel like the guy that's going to be paired with Stanley for Game 1 is going to be Timmins, but there's an asterisk next to that. It could be anybody. I'm sure it'll be a revolving door this series. We'll just have to take that game by game. And then Lucan and Ellis are your two goalies. Your extras, Greenway, Pearson, Kesselring, Shen, and Metza. And then still injured as of now, Alex Lyon, Noah Osland, and Sam Carrick. Sam Carrick will not be available to the Sabres this series. Osland is a possibility, or as Lindy said, definitely a possibility, but it's still that damn pain management thing that's going on. But on the bright side, Lyon, it does sound like he's going to join them at practice either tomorrow or Saturday, so that's cool.
And Ellis did not practice today. He's also kind of
that was a
day-to-day.
maintenance day. I think didn't he say it was maintenance? I think he was
I
the
thought
other
it
maintenance
was
guy.
something.
I think he was okay.
Fair enough.
So on the Bruins side of things, I'm pulling this from their practice lines a few days ago. Their top line, Geeky, Lindholm, Pasternak. Their second line, Middlestead, Zacha, Arvidsson. Then Isimont, Minton, Kuznetsov. And then Jeannot, Corelli, Kastelik. On defense, Aspero is with McAvoy. Hampus Lindholm's with Mason Lohrei. And Nikita Zadorov is with Andrew Peak. Swayman and Korpisalo are your goaltenders. Their extras, Hagens, Reichel, Steves, Jokiharju, and Harris. So, this is, like I said, I feel like this is an unfair part. Like, you almost got to take the lineups out of this. Like, you shouldn't, because obviously it matters. It's just like, I feel like we're going to come to the conclusion, and like, yeah, the Sabres out-depth this team. Like, they just do. But it just might not matter. I don't know. What you see anything with this matchup?
I just think we have a better lineup.
It's just I
I
can't
mean,
believe this forward
think-
group had 100 points.
Yeah, I mean that center core is.
But it's just like
that is
Zacha had a fantastic year. Minton had a
Yep.
great rookie season. Their fourth line was great for them. I mean, Middlestead had like 37-ish points, right? Wasn't he up there? No, I think he had a 40. I think he had
more.
over
I think
40.
he had 42.
Arvidsson had a big year. Like I think for the Bruins, it's going to come down to that second line. Pasternak, Geeky,
Yes.
and Lindholm will do their thing. They're going to get a goal a game for the Bruins, probably. Is that second line playoff viable on its own? Like, Zacha spent a lot of time with Pasternak over the last few years. Now he's kind of running his own thing. Is Middlestead, Zacha, Arvidsson going to be able to win you a series? I think that's like the big piece.
And that second line, they've played 585 minutes together. The next closest is 351.
Yeah.
They've played a lot together, They're at a 49.3% expected goal share. They've played a lot. They have the chemistry. I want to say if I'm comparing that to Sabres lines, there's no way a Sabres line is even close to that amount of time on ice together. 446 with the third line, so I guess kind of close, but they've played a lot together. They're, like I said, their fourth line has played a bunch together.
Yeah.
That top line has played a bunch together.
I think as is currently constructed, their fourth line definitely has an edge on the Sabres. Now,
I'll agree with that.
you throw Noah Ostlund back into the lineup, and if he's your fourth line center, as we've talked about, like I would like that. Or even if Peyton Krebs slides back down, I do think that changes things. But if Ostlund's not available for game one, which I feel like is going to be the case, then I do think the Bruins have the edge there. And they have the edge on the top line, I think. Just having Pasternak and Geeky.
Yes.
But I think the Sabres' two middle lines on paper do crush the Bruins. I think it just does.
Yeah, especially, this Benson Norris Doan line has kind of been a revelation recently. But that third line, has been good almost the entire season together.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, definitely the middle six. You could give the top line and bottom line to the Bruins. I'll agree with you there.
But then on top of that, I think what's maybe bigger, it's the defense. Like, the Sabres' top four, just, even though, Asprot's been a good story for them, and Hampus Lindholm's, a good player, and McAvoy's McAvoy, that is the engine of the Sabres team, and for the Bruins, I think the Sabres have a real opportunity to, really take advantage. Andrew Peeke, I think, is genuinely a bad hockey player. Now, the Sabres, if they ice Timmins in the lineup, I think that's very similar, but I think the defense is where you'll see, that might be where the depth is maybe most shown.
Yes. Definitely our star power, top four, no doubt better. McAvoy, probably he's the second best defenseman if you're comparing both of our D-cores. But yeah, after that, not too scared about any of them. The only thing you have to point out with Zadorov is he's just one of the most physical players in the league. He's a massive human being and most penalty minutes in the league. It's really the only thing I could point out for them, but it seems like looking at their defensive minutes together, they have rotated a lot. Zadorov and Peeke have played a lot together, and Asperov and McAvoy. But if you compare that to the Sabres, Dahlin and Samuelson have played 850 minutes together, which is 350 minutes more than Zadorov and Peeke. Even Power and Byram. They were together the second half of the season, basically. They played more together than anybody on the Bruins pairs.
And if you've been watching the Sabres, honestly, the top four pairs are meaningless because they change every shift.
Yeah.
They can throw whoever the hell they want out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, defense, I think, it pretty obviously goes to the Sabres. You can maybe give them a third pair because Zadorov is...
I don't know. I think Peeke is bad. I don't even think... Zadorov's fine. I know he has maybe a bit of... you could say he's better than Stanley. I'll definitely say that, yeah, he's better than Stanley.
I think Zadorov's actually a physical presence where Stanley's a perceived physical presence.
We'll find out.
I guess so.
I do kind of... it is kind of making me laugh. Just Zadorov and Peeke, Stanley Timmins. They're just kind of two bozo pairs. They're just kind of built the same way. Got just an awful right-hand defenseman and then a big left guy.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to the keys?
Well, I think we should quickly compare UPL Swayman.
Yeah, Luukkonen is he's a big unknown. You don't know
in the playoffs.
Yeah, in his playoffs, obviously. You just don't know how he's going to be. Some goalies they got the yips. They just do. And we know Swayman is not one of them. I think even if Swayman has a bad series, I think we can probably all agree, unless it's bad, it's probably not going to reflect upon him. Whereas if Luukkonen has a bad series, I think to an extent, you'll kind of be wishing for more. But Luukkonen has played fantastic hockey for the past, basically since the Olympic break. Even if Alex Lyon was healthy, this was Luukkonen's crease. He took that job. I mean, there were multiple points, not just multiple. There were so many points throughout this Sabres stretch of winning that we were like, yeah, Luukkonen's playing great, but I mean, come on, we all know it's Alex Lyon's crease. And then right at like the finish line, Luukkonen took that back over. Here he is. He's going to be your game one starter. And I can't wait. I can't wait for 19,070 strong just chanting Lou for that first save. That's going to
be fun.
It's going to be. It's almost like very I was thinking this like as we started like the preview. I'm like, it's very funny. Like the Bruins are kind of the 2010 Sabres. Just that team that finished with they finished with the same amount of points. I believe the Sabres won the division with 100 points. You got an Olympian as your starting goaltender who's having an amazing season, and you've got offense that basically runs through one-star winger. I don't know. It's funny. And then more of a reflection is that obviously you had Tuukka Rask. Well, actually Tim Thomas wasn't that. But I was just thinking about Tuukka Rask and all the two chants. Very reminiscent of Luukkonen.
Yeah.
I don't know. Funny.
Yeah. I mean, to compare a little more, Swayman was second in the league in goal save above expected. UPL was 16th. Still a great season. UPL's home and away splits. Home, he's actually 12-2, but his numbers are actually worse. 904 and a 2.72.
That's the Tampa game at work, I think.
That's fair. Away, he's 10-7, but he has a 915 and a 2.32. So basically, I mean, he has good splits for both home and away. Where Swayman, good at home, not the best at away. So, but they definitely have the goaltending. So I mean, in conclusion, first line, fourth line, maybe third pair and their goalie, I would give to them. The rest I would give to the Sabres.
I would agree. But it can change. Tage Thompson has an awesome series. Like, that first line can be matched. And the fourth line, like I said, if Oslin re-enters the lineup and if maybe you got Greenway in there instead, like, I will say, like, I don't feel great as that Sabres as a fourth line is just kind of, like, unplayable in, like, overtime situations. Like, I would not feel comfortable with them out there. So,
yeah.
I hope that's a line they don't go into Boston with. I also know what I think you're going to say next.
That first Malenstein shift, when he absolutely destroys someone, is going to be incredible.
I can't wait. That's just the one thing I want from Game 1 most. He will kill someone.
Yeah.
He will put somebody through the glass.
And I think I said this in one of our Patreon episodes. I think Beck Malenstein is going to have a massive goal in the playoffs this year. I just think he is. He only has 7 goals this year, but I don't know. He's already kind of a cult hero. Like, I just think if he scores a big goal, like, he's going to have legendary status already.
He's going to be able to have a round of drinks bought for him forever.
Yeah.
All right. Should we head into our final keys? We've already talked a lot about them, but
yeah, we have.
Let's go into them. So, our keys to the game. Or keys to the series, excuse me.
Yeah.
JP, all yours.
Take advantage of the home ice. The Bruins are very good at home, and their numbers are not as good away. Where the Sabres are pretty good at both, but this is definitely a spot where these first 2 games are massive. You need to win at least one of these. If you win both of them, you got a good chance to win the series, obviously, but dropping both of them would maybe be a death sentence going into 2 games into Boston with how good the record is there. Next one, I think, if possible, try and shut down that top line. That top line is their main producer. Pastrnak and Geeky are one of the best 1-2 punches this year. with Pastrnak having 71 assists and Geeky having 39 goals, that top line will be that line who will probably have the most goals maybe in the entire series compared to like both teams' lines. Like that line is just going to be it's going to be a key. We'll see.
Yeah.
Will be really interesting to see who they match up against that top line.
And these two go hand in hand.
I wonder.
You know, the biggest part of home ice is the fact you can line match against them.
Yes.
And, you know, I put shut down on the graphic in quotations because I don't think you're going to be able to shut them down. It's just you need to contain them.
Yes. I have a feeling they will match up our top line against their top line, which I don't think is the best decision. I feel like that second line, Norris, Doan, and Benson, all defensively responsible players. Like, I think that would be a good matchup.
I would agree.
But I have a feeling they're going to match up Tage, Tuck, and Krebs with them.
I don't know. Is he going to match Tage with their top line at home? I don't know.
I think, I don't know. I guess you're right. You might want to match up if you have the, obviously if you're the home team, you have that option to match up. Maybe you'll match that lineup against their third or fourth line. So that's a good point. But I do think that second line should be the matchup for that top line. Like, I think a defensive responsible line, really good forechecking. Like, that's just having Doan and Benson on the same line. Like, I think they could be a nuisance to what Pastrnak and Geeky want to do. And then lastly, it's a special teams battle. I think to add on to that, play this series at 5-on-5. Do not take stupid penalties and don't let them get their power play chances. Their power play is one of the best in the league. It's 9th. If you let that power play get hot and you give them a lot of chances, it will cost you. And we know how bad our power play, or at least how unreliable and inconsistent our power play can be. So play this series at 5-on-5, and I think you have a much better chance of winning.
Spot on. Spot on. So, that's our series preview. There is one more series preview that we have. It's not from the two of us. It is from our lovely co-host, Christian. He was driving out of town today, and I said, hey, if you want to send a little audio clip of you previewing the series, like, hey, I would play that for everybody, and Christian obliged. So here is Christian's series preview.
Guys, I'm recording this in the car right now. I just drove through like 2.5 hours of the worst goddamn weather that I've ever driven in my entire life. We left a little after 4. Like, this is a 4-hour trip. We left a little after 4, still in the car, because it was an absolute downpour for 2 straight hours. It couldn't even see the road. It was almost like God was telling me that
A great preview.
Maybe you're gonna have to work to see the playoffs. So he dumped 100,000 gallons of water on my head, but not gonna let it ruin my day because they're going to the playoffs and the vibes are high right now. But I know this is a preview, so I don't want to take up too much of the airtime with me just talking, so I'll just get right into it with the comparisons. I mean, we're the better 5v5 team offensively and defensively. We got better depth, but I think we're kind of outmanned in like the superstar category. I mean, you got Pastrnak, McAvoy, and Jeremy Swayman. I mean, that's the big three right there. So, I mean, keep it simple. Don't take too many stupid penalties because you're definitely outmatched in special teams too. We've seen how they played on the power play. It's a nightmare. What else? I think my brain is rotted from this car ride. I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to think of some other things. I don't know. I'm super excited just to be downtown. I know JP and Jonah are going to the game. They'll be in the arena. That place is going to be jam-packed. And as I'm taping this right now, I still don't know what time on Sunday the game is. So it's kind of inhibiting my ability to make plans as to when I'm going to get back. Because obviously, as you could tell, I'm not on the episode right now. I'm away. The other two goobers are probably ranting about something in between me talking. But I've seen all the plans that they have down there. They have all the multiple TVs set up at Canal Side, and they have oh my god, lightning strike. See, it just never ends. It really just never ends. Multiple TVs set up in Canal Side, and it is going to be just jam-packed down there. I don't even mind sitting in traffic. I mean, you know, traffic after a Bills game. This might be worse, but I've waited a long time for this, 14 years. I've also waited a long time for playoff concessions, which I was reading off to my girlfriend in the car as we were driving out here, and I'm kind of excited about that.
Of course, he brings up the food.
We got a chicken tendies bucket in the shape of a wagon. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? But yeah, outside of that, I mean, just you got to try and take both at home. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but Boston's such a good team at home this year. I think they have like something like 29 home wins. They're like well above 500 at home, probably close to 750. Just got to try and take 2 at home. I mean, the building's going to be packed. You got to feed off of that. Stay out of the box. I mean, honestly, I would just say don't try and draw any penalties, because you're not going to do much on the power play either. I don't think, at least. I mean, the power play last night looked great, but they had just a random unit out there. It's funny. Take a couple people off the ice that I've been saying to take off, and that was the biggest lightning strike of my life. Moving on. It was right there. It was actually probably about 500 yards from us. What was I saying? Power play. Yeah, the power play just... It's funny, you take the guys off that I was telling you guys to take off, and, you know, they gave them their best shift of the season the other night. But, yeah, I'll just say in conclusion, you just got to... That building's going to be absolutely jam-packed. I'm jealous that you two guys are getting in. I'll be in for Game 5. If it goes to 5, maybe they sweep them. But you bet your ass I'll be downtown. I will be outside in Canal Side. But I guess until then, I'll see you down there. That's the next time you'll hear from me. So, see you guys.
Series preview with, I think, about 45 to a minute of actual preview. The rest of it, God's trying to strike him down on the highway. You know, actually, we didn't hear from him after this. He might not be okay. No, I'm just kidding. We heard from him. He sent us that.
I just want to put out there, when he was talking about taking off 2 players in the power play that he's been talking about the whole season, he's talking about Rasmus Stallion and Tage Thompson. Might not be ridiculous, but it's still pretty funny.
All right.
Do we have some breaking news?
We do. I mean, it's not breaking for us. Everybody will know by the time we listen to this. But we did just find out just now the Buffalo Sabres will be playing the Bruins on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. God, we're going to be up till 2 a.m. recording.
Yeah, we are.
God, we are. Like, I want that game to go to overtime and them to win, because that'd be an all-time moment. But at the same time, I don't want to hit record at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's still ridiculous. As we're finishing recording this, it's 11:55 p.m. Thursday night.
Plenty of time.
We still do not have
It's plenty
the
of time.
friggin' schedule. And everything is set. It's ridiculous. And by the way, Utah went an entire season without a shootout. Incredible.
JP's been on that since the start.
I've been on that for a month or two now.
Mm-hmm.
But God damn it, put out the freaking schedule. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so series predictions. I probably should have asked Christian for his. You know what? I'll ask him right now. Hopefully he's still up. Probably not.
Are you kidding me? He is sleeping after driving 5 or 6
You're
hours.
probably right.
You can try texting him, though.
I'll shoot him a text. JP, series prediction.
I think the Sabres are the better team. I do think the Bruins will Bruin for some of these games with Swayman, Pasternak, Geeky. I'm going to say the Sabres will take this series in 6. And I really do think if we win these first 2 games, I'm feeling good about the series. Even if we split, I won't feel as good just considering the home and away splits, but I'm going to say 6-game series. Sabres take it. Which means the Sabres would take it away, by the way. They would win at
That'd be pretty
Bruins
cool.
in game 6.
I would love to break. You know, it's funny. I got home today, and I showered, and I threw on a shirt, and that shirt was a Boston Red Sox shirt. And because it was like a thin shirt, so I was like, it's getting hot out. It's getting hot in here. And then before I sat down, I'm like, I can't wear a Red Sox shirt for this series.
It's going to be tough next week when, Red Sox are playing the Yankees, and that's like obviously the most passionate we get throughout the season, Red Sox versus Yankees, and we're not going to be able to cheer for them. In good faith, at least. We probably still will. I can't cheer for the Yankees if my life depended on it, but in good faith, it will hurt me cheering for the Red Sox next week.
Nope. All right. My prediction. They've got star power. We got Owen power. They play a TD Garden. We got a beer garden. Sabres in 5. Don't matter. Sabres in 5. I do think.
What game are they taking? Game 3?
I think the Bruins take game. I think they're going to take game 4. I think the Sabres are ready for the moment. I think they're ready. I do. They're too good of a team for me to be nervous about playoff jitters that much. Like I said, this isn't like if they're playing Tampa, this would be a lot different. Even Ottawa, like I said, I think this could be a messy. I can see this. I know this doesn't sound ridiculous, but I could see this series going any length and it making sense. I just think they have room for error in this series, even if maybe the first game there's some pace issues. But I think the Sabres are too strong at 5-on-5. And especially on defense. I don't know. I think they're ready for the moment. And I think, I remember thinking over the past few years, man, if they did get to the playoffs, I don't know. I feel like Tage Thompson maybe would be I could totally see that being a guy that disappears into the background a little bit. And that could still happen. But, the Olympics really changed that for me. That was the best level of hockey literally possible. And he shined. The most talented hockey game ever played possibly. Where his team was getting dominated for all of it, and I thought he was maybe their best player in regulation. I think the Sabres are ready for this, and I think they are a team that is built to frustrate the Boston Bruins. That team is built to lose to a team like the Sabres, that is a team that lives and dies by their goaltender. if they're going to win a playoff series. And, I was actually thinking about this. Like, in the modern NHL, this might be an all-time jinx, so I'm going to knock on wood before I say it. How often do you see playoff series, like, really stolen by goaltenders? Like, I was trying to, like, list it off the top of my head. Like, I don't feel like it's all that common. Sure, there's great goaltending performances, obviously. I guess, like, Shesterkin's series would count, but even then, like, I feel like the Rangers were always very good in those series. But I guess he would count.
It's tough because any of the comparisons you might try and draw up, like, all of the good goalies were on good teams. Vasilevsky.
The last one I can legitimately think about, just off the top of my head, is the Canadiens run back during COVID. Like, Carey Price was stealing playoff rounds.
I mean, if you want to go back that far, Korpisalo the year before.
He didn't win the playoff. Well, I mean, they won the play-in versus the Leafs, so I guess maybe that counts. But even then, they lost to Tampa.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I guess that's how I feel. I don't know. I feel good. Like, I just feel like the Sabres are a better team, and I feel like that even if they stumble to start this series, maybe I'm going to change my answer. Maybe they lose game 1, which would suck. But maybe even if they stumble out of the gate, I think they're going to find their footing. The best players in the world are the best players in the world for a reason. They're not going to have the yips for 7 games straight. And I think, the Sabres could go down 2-0 in this series. And, like, I would still feel like it's more than possible they can make a comeback and storm back and get momentum in their favor. So,
I mean, this episode could obviously, we've been talking the Sabres up. It could age very badly. I just think, on paper, Sabres are the better team. If you talk about any of the other 3 teams we could have played, Ottawa, Montreal, or Tampa, you could make the argument both ways. I think the argument is almost clearly in the Sabres' favor or this way. Like, if we went 7 games with Montreal, I don't know how it'd go. Tampa, they have the playoff experience. Ottawa can get hot, and they have a deep lineup. I think you are better than the Bruins.
Yeah. Well, just Boston, you just, like, you have to almost talk in hypotheticals with them. And, like you have to predict goaltending.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a crazy game to play. And I don't know. I think 5 games. I think I'm feeling good about this team right now. Maybe 6. I don't see it going to 7 though. I don't.
I agree. I'm feeling pretty good with 6. Do you have any series like predictions? I already said I think Beck's gonna have a big goal this playoffs. Do we think UPL plays every
that's
game?
A good one. Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go yes because if I think they're gonna be in control of this series. So I'm gonna go yes.
I agree. I think if Flying was healthy, it would be a different conversation. But it's tough for him.
Who's gonna be the player that gets the most national media attention?
For the Sabres?
Yes.
I think Dahlin is just built for playoff hockey. I think he's already sort of been in Norris conversation talks the last few weeks. Captain of the team, best player on your team, maybe the best player in the series, up there with Pastrnak. I think this could be Dahlin's, like, not breakout moment. I mean, that'd be ridiculous to say, but like his real, like, respect from the national media and then wider NHL series.
His coronation.
Yeah. I also, if we want to talk about playoff performers, Bowen Byram was obviously unbelievable.
I was thinking
the past
that
with
too.
The Avalanche.
I'm like, he was so good for them behind Cale Makar in 2022. Can he recapture that? That would be huge if he was a big X factor.
Yeah. I
also think, we saw the last game these two teams played. Zach Benson, I just feel like is going to stir up so much shit in this series.
Oh, he is built for playoff hockey too.
Yeah. Who's going to be the villain of this series? It's got to be. Zadorov's going to do something dumb, right?
It has to be. Yeah, he's going to do something dumb. Oh, I was just about to check. I mean, obviously Zucker's been in the league so much. His playoff numbers actually aren't that crazy. 18 points in 52 games, 9 goals, 9 assists. Is there anybody? I do think there could be a conversation, and you're not gonna like this. One of the reasons Edmonton got rid of Brian McLeod is because of his playoff performances. So we'll see how he shows up in this playoffs.
Yeah, that third line will be interesting. We talked at a lot of points in the season. I feel like around January, like, oh, this line is not third line playoff viable. And then they were just like the best line the last month of the season, or like for a few weeks. So we were kind of like, okay, maybe they'll be all right. So, yeah, there are some questions. McLeod, that there was noise there. Obviously, you read Zucker's playoff numbers, and obviously so much of the team is unknown. You don't know.
Yeah, Tuck's been pretty good in the playoffs.
I wouldn't,
think
honestly,
he's gonna have a. He
it
might
would not
be your
surprise
best
me.
forward.
It would not surprise me if he leads the team in points leaving this series.
Yeah.
He just seems like a guy. He's just built for this. So, we'll see.
Agreed.
I hope so. Make the contract talks annoying. Do so well.
Yeah. This is his last chance to earn it. And I feel like we've mentioned most of the forwards, but Jack Quinn has been playing so good recently too. And I do think his game has evolved this year. Like, I think last year or even years past can make the argument like he wasn't a playoff player, not physical. Like, I think his game has evolved this year, and he's been playing so good. Like, it'll be an X factor too. And obviously, we'll see what happens with the power play. They didn't release power play lines today, but the last few games,
I would imagine he's still the quarterback.
He's still been the quarterback of the power play.
Crazy. All right, here's a fun one. I guess this is more for me. True or false, by the end of the playoffs, Consta Hellenius will have played one game.
No, he's not. Sorry, he's not playing. Sorry.
You think no matter what, you think if the Amherst get eliminated and they're playing, you don't think they call him up? And like
they might call him
up.
Who would they take out of the lineup?
Well, there's gonna be you could do injuries. I mean, look at their fourth line right now. Hell, Peyton Krebs is on the top line. Obviously he's done good there, but it's like, I think especially with Carrick out now. In my opinion, I don't think the Sabres are gonna get him back.
Yeah, Carrick does make it a conversation. I'll give you that.
I don't know.
Osland maybe comes back. There's another spot. Then 11 spots are basically completely locked up. And Greenway, I feel like when Greenway's healthy, they play him. Like that's almost 12, and I don't want to put it out there, but I know your opinions about Beck Malenstein. He's never coming out of the lineup. It's just a fact.
Okay.
I could see Consta being on the roster. I don't think he'll get in a game unless there's injuries. Like, anything could happen, but don't see it happening.
True or false, Michael Kesselring plays a playoff game.
True. I think he plays this series.
True or false, Alex Lyon plays a playoff game.
Ooh. I think I might lean towards false. I mean, when was his last good game and now he's hurt?
But he could be back. Like, if the Bruins kind of torch Luukkonen to start the series.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
What do you think Luukkonen's leash is? Do you think it depends?
2 bad games. I mean, Lions' last good game was March 19th. It's going to be over a month.
That's fair. All right.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess anything could happen, but it's just tough that he's going to be coming off injury too. I mean, his last game played was April 4th.
I got maybe another bold prediction. I think Owen Power is going to have a great series.
I like that. I think,
but it'll be typical, like he's pissing people off because he's not. Like Zadorov's going to do something stupid, and people are going to be like, "Come on, Power, like engage."
Yeah, he will be the one. I think out of anybody on the roster, maybe McLeod's up there. It's like, are they playoff players? Owen Power's obviously like the least physical player on the team, maybe other than McLeod. So I am curious to see how we'll do this series. I still think he's going to do what he does, but I think we'll see what playoff Owen Power looks like.
All right.
By the way, the stat that was going around this past week that he's like in the top 10 on possession numbers for defensemen, pretty impressive and crazy. Like I actually would not have guessed that this year. And Dowling was obviously like top 5.
He's pretty good.
He is.
All right. Closing thoughts.
Let's fucking do this. That's it.
Let's fucking.
Some
I'm so
playoff
ready.
hockey in
I'm
Buffalo.
so ready.
Sunday night, prime time, 7:30. Let's do this.
We have to avenge 2010. We have to.
Yes.
I know it's
A lot-
overlooked. I know it's overlooked, but God damn it, that was Ryan Miller's best season of his career. Thomas Vanek was a monster that season going into the playoffs, and it was ripped. It was ripped away.
Yep.
The Bruins lost in 7 in the second round after blowing a 3-0 series lead, funny enough. But they lost that series to the Philadelphia Flyers, who went all the way to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Am I saying the Sabres would have gotten there? No. But I think Miller could have done it, and a healthy Vanek.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this ignites a little rivalry between the two of us for years to come. Because, I mean, it's weird. Christian's kind of been saying for years, he's been predicting the Bruins' downfall. They never did. And quite frankly, they might be on the rise again. I mean, I don't see them. They still got Swayman, Pasternak. They got some young guys coming up in the system.
It's weird to think about, how old's Pasternak? 28, 29?
29 years old.
29.
He'll be 30. If they go deep in the playoffs, he'll turn 30. May 25th.
I could obviously see him being a player that ages well and produces like Marchand up until he's in his upper 30s. But I don't know. He's 29. How many runs like this does he really have left? How many more 100-point teams is he going to be on? This is the thing about the Bruins. It's this has been such a good story for them. It's kind of like, what else do they kind of have coming? Is Zaka, Middlestat, Arvidsson going to repeat this next year? Fraser Minton obviously will continue to grow, and he's been great. They do have another draft pick potentially on the way, depending on what happens with the Leafs in the lottery, and they'll at least have their first-round pick next year. So I'm not going to say it's doom and gloom. I just wonder. I don't know. They got a funky kind of timeline.
They do. I don't see them falling off, though. I think they'll consistently be this wild card team, but that could easily change.
Yeah.
Fraser Minton, James Higgins.
Oh, I forget. Yeah, I didn't even think about Higgins. Yeah. I mean, he's obviously looking to be really great. So, no. It's just interesting with Pasternak being so clearly the guy. And it's he's getting kind of up there. That's all. That's just what I was saying. I'm not saying the Bruins are screwed, because they're not.
Yeah.
They're the Bruins.
Swayman's 27. How old is McAvoy?
He was 16.
He's 28.
2016, so he's 28, yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see. This could ignite a rivalry, and we'll get back to 2010. I mean, go back into the beginning years of the drought. Lucic, a little revenge for that.
The city of Buffalo could use a drubbing of a Boston team.
Yes.
It was a rough year for that rivalry in another sport. So,
yeah. Final prediction. We talked about this a lot on the live stream the other night. Final prediction for who is going to be beating the drum to start the game.
One that I didn't think of that got brought up was Brad May. Yeah. I think he's going to do it at some point.
I think you can rule Derek Roy out. He did it last game.
Yeah. I'm going Jeff Skinner. No, I'm just kidding.
I really think it's going to be Miller.
I think it is too. but just for fun, I don't want to pick Josh, but it's like, is it going to be Josh?
If it is a Bills player, we
Well,
will
listen,
have a rant about
I
this.
would not be mad if it's Josh, because it's like, he's a bit different. Like, it's not like if James Cook went up and banged the drum.
Fair, but still.
This is it. He is like,
Josh has got a newborn. He's not going to travel. Well, I think he is in Buffalo. I thought I saw someone say that, but I don't know.
I'll
I
go
love
Josh,
Josh
especially
Allen,
now
but-
it's a Boston team, so God knows Drake May might bang the drum at some point. Yeah.
Like, if Josh is game 2, game 5, or game 7, I'm
I
all
agree
for
with
it.
that. Yeah,
Don't
you know
care.
that's
Game 1, that would piss me off. It should be a Sabres legend, Sabres alum, someone even associated with the drought. Like I even put in our group chat today, maybe the Google Dolls. I mean, Better Days is the most famous Sabres video
Yeah, they shouldn't do
of all
that.
time.
They shouldn't do that. That would maybe be worse.
Yeah, that would be pretty anticlimactic, but
Yeah. Because I think they did one, I want to say. I could be wrong. Maybe it was like last season. But
it is looking like their playoff hype video is going to be Better Days.
what do you think about that?
I like it. I mean,
Well, I never thought their video was gonna be Better Days. Like, listen,
I thought it
I'm
would.
all for like doing like a modern day one. It shouldn't be the playoff hype video.
That video is legendary. Like,
Yes, let it be legendary. Do something new.
I don't know. I'm all for it, but in the little video they played, the fact that they did not have the train bell made it actually so much worse. Like
It's
they
off-putting.
should just add it. Like how
Yeah.
you know
Like I said,
how legendary that
if
is.
if it's a shot for shot remake, sure. I don't think it should be the playoff video. I do have a feeling like maybe it'll start with Better Days and then cut into
agree.
something else.
I agree.
If it's like a montage of the eras, sure. Like it goes from that, it's like Rocky like a Hurricane. Maybe they throw the Warpath stuff in there. Maybe the Sabres got to win that cup song from the 80s. I don't know. Like it'd be fun if it's like if it's like, you know, a travel through history. Maybe maybe at the end of it you got a little "Let Me Clear My Throat" in there.
Get some party in the USA.
Yeah, let Jeff Skinner pick a song. Let's just do that. I don't know. You know me. I'm all for new. Give me new stuff. Nostalgia's great, but especially for this team. Like, it's not even... It's the 05-06 anniversary. It's not 06-07. At least save it for next year. That should be like the pre-season like hype video. I don't know. I'm getting mad at something that doesn't matter. I'm still... Obviously, it's gonna hit me in my feels a little bit when I'm in the arena and they're playing it. So, what does it matter?
Yep.
I think we were talking about something else before the better. Oh, right, the drum. Just for fun, I will go Brad May. You got
Ryan
Miller.
Miller's my
I got
final
Brad
answer.
May. Obviously, Brad May's not a drought guy, but obviously there's a little bit of historical significance there with him and the Bruins.
Yeah.
So I will go with
yeah.
that.
I said my sleeper pick. I got laughed at. Get old Terry Bagula down there.
No.
Been there throughout the whole
No.
drought.
No. Absolutely not. I would no. I don't know how I would react to that. Like if we're sitting there, like would I laugh? Would I get mad? Would I
think
just
I'd
like
laugh.
oh man.
I think I'd
I
laugh,
hope not.
and I'd be forced to cheer. As
God.
much as I might resent him,
I
would
could just
be
tell
forced
he
to
would be
cheer.
so offbeat. He wouldn't be able to like do the mallet properly. He would like get everybody less excited about puck drop.
That's a good take. That is one of my pet peeves, actually. When they go before puck drop
It's
and
not
they
that
have people
hard.
do this,
It's not that hard. It's
exactly.
bang, 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 bang,
Some-
bang. That's it.
some people are offbeat. I'm like, okay, come on, seriously?
It's like you guys got no rhythm. It's not that difficult. All right. We're kind of getting close to the 2.5 hour mark here. Any
We
final,
still
final thoughts? Oh, what else do we have?
No, I was just gonna say we still got another episode to record. Tonight.
Yeah, I know we gotta do after hours after this. Yep. Well, luckily for us, we don't have a sloth recording next to
Yes.
us, so
Yes.
that's good. Miss you, Christian. Please be back for Sunday night.
My final thoughts. I'm gonna take what Christian was saying and put it out there. Like, let's just enjoy the moment. I mean, you're never gonna break a drought like this again in your lifetime. Hopefully not.
Enjoy the first
Even if
night.
they did, yes. Just enjoy it.
Take it all in, whether you're in the arena. Like, I got a tweet plan. Like JP knows, I took this picture on opening night in 2021, and you know what? I want to find the exact number of people that were in attendance that night. But I remember JP and I, our family was a part of an old season ticket package that we sat like right under the broadcast cameras, beautiful seats, awesome. And, we went to the home opener that season, and I'll never forget, man. I just will never forget the feeling I had. First of all, that was my first time like back in a hockey building post-COVID, so that was awesome. But at the same time, I had never seen that building so empty in my entire life. Maybe aside from like preseason game. Like, okay, maybe we went to a preseason game or two that season, but I had never seen attendance that low, let alone for a home opener, fresh out of COVID when you've been away for so long. And I took this picture, and I can't wait to tweet it out next to the side-by-side with playoff hockey. I'm just going to enjoy that moment so much for myself, for me and you, because you were there as well, just for everybody. Do you want to know how many people were in the building that night? For a home opener.
Is it like really bad?
8,000.
Oh, jeez.
8,467. That was the home opener numbers.
That's really bad.
I mean, they dipped into the 7,000s a few times, like after that, which is like a reasonable drop off considering they sold so low. But 8,000. So this has been a long time coming, man. And the Eichel years were tough. There was always it was Eichel, right? You had Eichel. Towards the end of that, you had Darlene. There was always like a semblance of like they can figure this out. And those post-COVID years were just so challenging in a different sense. Sure, there were no expectations, but being there night in and night out, seeing the empty crowds, that was tough. And as the Sabres have put it themselves, we're back. You're back to relevance. You won the Atlantic Division. Oh my God. And you might win Coach of the Year. You might win the Norris Trophy potentially. Like, you're back to relevance. And it's so awesome. And I can tell for myself, it hasn't set in for me yet. Like, it just hasn't. It's like we're just recording like it's just another podcast. Sure, we're talking playoff hockey, but I don't know. It's like a weekly preview. They've won the division, but I don't see the banner yet. And my team's going to the playoffs. But I haven't been to that playoff game yet. But I know that it's Sunday night, 7:30 p.m., when I'm sitting in my seat, when I have chills going down my spine, when I see the full arena, the rally towels waving, and I see them take the ice to the just roar of the crowd, that it's going to finally set in, that the Buffalo Sabres are back in the playoffs. And I might shed a tear. I might. I'm not a guy that cries during the national anthem. I know that's mostly an athlete's thing. I might cry. If they bring Doug Allen out and do that, I know we talked about that on the Patreon a little bit. That would maybe make me tear up. Just just such a... I'm looking forward to it, man. How can you not? How can you not look forward to it?
Well said. I think walking from our car to the stadium, seeing the party in the plaza /
Yeah, we're
party
gonna walk
canal
right through.
side, seeing just how mobbed it's going to be in the building, how it's going to feel in the building. It's going to be a surreal experience. And no matter where you are, if you're watching it, if you're going to the game, if you're watching it at Canal Side, if you're watching it at home, if you're watching it across the world. Like, it's going to be a surreal moment where no matter how long you've been a fan of this team, like, we have earned this. This team has earned this. This wasn't a fluke getting in. This team is good. We are back. Let's just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the first few minutes and even the lead up to that game. I guess the one good thing about playing Sunday is I think the hype is only going to build more and more. Friday, Saturday after some playoff games go, and then into Sunday.
Yeah, you're going to be like Saturday. I am looking forward to. I'm going to be sitting at home watching playoff hockey and like not being like, damn, I wish that was me. You know, I'm going to be sitting there being like, you know, laughing at teams that are failing and being like, you know, good thing that's not me, and I'm just getting ready for the Sunday night matchup.
Yeah. Just enjoy it. Enjoy watching it with whoever you're gonna be with. It's gonna be surreal. I think, like Jonah said, I think when I'm in there, I think I'm definitely gonna tear up. I think the only other time I've done that in a Sabres stadium was this year. I think I went to the game after Tampa, the 8-7 game, and it was just an unbelievable feeling in there. And I think around game time, I'm going to look around and see everybody standing, and it's just going to be an unbelievable experience. So no matter where you are, just enjoy it. This is once in a lifetime. I say that, I want to knock on wood. Like, another drought could happen, but it will never
I hope
feel
so.
like this.
I miss it. I miss
It'll never feel
already.
like this. So
yeah, also just
enjoy
enjoy the lead up, because you're going to be excited for the next few days, and then the puck is going to drop, and then you're just going to be like feeling that little like you're going to feel your heart, and there's going to be games. No matter what, like unless the Sabres go 16-0 and win the cup, like you are going to have your heart ripped out of you, you know. And a bit of this is like we're talking to each other about this because like I've never fully experienced a Sabres run like this, where I'm consuming the team like I do now. I was in second grade the last time they were here, so like a lot of fans listening probably don't need to be reminded of this, but some do. That, you know, there's going to be crushing heartbreak.
I think if you're from Buffalo, you know, comparison's going to obviously be to the Bills. Your heart, they've broken our hearts so many times, and it's going to be like that, but there's another game to be played.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's more games to be played, and
it doesn't come down to just one, you know, which is bad and good. Like it's the Bills, it's so much like you have a bad 2 quarters. You're like, oh shit, I got 2 quarters to figure out the rest of my season. The Sabres, like I said, especially in this series, I think like if the Bruins grit, goaltending, and experience prevail the first 2 games, like you have time to catch your feet, get them back under you, and take momentum back. It's, you know, the Stanley Cup playoffs is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I'll just say it again. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the lead up. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, we're in unprecedented territory. We never experienced a real Sabres playoff series, so
this
is
like,
gonna be awesome. And I knew I had something to say coming into this. Let's have your back with this team. If you're from Buffalo, like I can't wait to see how much of a hockey city it truly is. Like we've seen it recently, where like the vibe around the city is just all Sabres. There's no Bills talk right now, really. I mean, obviously the draft is coming up.
It's so
nice. There's a little because of the draft, but like
you have to go and
it's going to be
yeah.
But it's going to be so fun that Sabres is the only thing that's going to matter for the next few weeks, next month or two, And I can't wait to see how much of a hockey city Buffalo truly is.
Well said. No, it's like you've beaten the video game and now you got everything unlocked and this is just unprecedented territory. You don't know what to do. You know, we're in the end
I can't
game
wait
now.
to see TV ratings for the Buffalo market.
They're going to be ridiculous.
Insane. They're usually towards the top even if they're not in the playoffs.
The NHL has to be so excited. Like, thinking about it now, like, there was no way they were getting an afternoon game for the first game. There just was no way. It had to be a night game. It had to be at least like a 5 o'clock game.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is awesome. Sunday, 7:30 p.m. God, I just cannot fucking wait.
Yep.
Are we doing playoff
Get
beers?
excited. I am debating. I think
I mean, I told myself if I'm gonna do it, I'm at least gonna shave. I got a haircut.
yeah.
It'll be touch and go.
I might
feeling
shave
good about
one
it-
more time. Maybe I'll shave like before the game, or
Well,
I'll
you gotta
shave
do it before the
Saturday.
game. You can't do it after.
Yeah,
if you're...
no doubt, no doubt. So, I think we'll see how it goes. See how the vibes go. I did see some people comment about it, saying
I know people want it.
we should
People
do
want
it. Yep.
All right. I think we've gone on long enough here. 2 hours and 40 minutes, but loved every second of it. Folks, thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Sabre Report. Also on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at the Sabre Report. It's playoff time. Coverage full steam ahead. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials. If you want updates for the pod, you can follow us at Sabre Report. At Sabre Report Pod. Go give our friends over at the Buffalo Sports Talk podcast a listen tonight. They recorded their first All Sabres episode. Yes, it took this long, but they did it, and we heard it was a blast. So they do great stuff over there. Have a very different perspective than us. Like, I'm sure they're having as much of a blast in a much different way than we are. So go give them a listen.
This might be their best episode ever.
That's what they said. They said it might be their best episode. I fully believe. I'll take their word for it. I'm looking forward to tuning in tomorrow. So go give them a listen. I want to take this second to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/thesabrereport, to our core tier patrons and to our premium tier patrons. Our premium tier patrons, specifically Derek Pastricki, Zach Benson, Grant Budney, Tage and a Slug, Nick Santos, Nathan Little, and Tim Z. Your support, very much appreciated. We could not do this without you guys. Thank you so much for joining us along for this playoff ride and enjoying all the content that we put out. Thank you. So on that note, the next time we will talk to you guys will be post Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. As we said, we will be recording after every game. Hopefully that is easier said than done. I doubt it. There are times where there are episodes you don't want to do, right? Like teams in a funk, you're just like, I don't want to talk about them. Playoff episodes like that are going to be interesting to deal with, but we'll deal with when we get there. I'm looking forward to it anyways. So on that final note, thanks once again. Take care. And go Sabres.
Enjoy the moment. Go Sabres.